Facebook or not? Come on, Facebook. The Book of the Face. Come on, Book of the Face. There's always one. Okay. Now, just wait. 20 seconds. 14 seconds. 10 seconds.
Welcome to the 9dNation.
בראשית ברא אלוהים את השמיים ואת הארץ.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Thousands of years later, it was Wednesday at 11 p.m. Central. Get your passport ready and be prepared to declare to the customs agents any edible plants or miscellaneous worldviews. You're now crossing into the nation with no denomination.
Welcome to the 9dNation, the nation with no denomination. That's your Wednesday show, 11 Central, midnight Eastern, featuring, after the Bible reading, commentary from Black Yoda and other guests. Notice the lazy no green screen. It's just been one of those weeks, but we don't really need the green screen as much for the Wednesday show. Was just over at Sloan TV, catching that. It's just good TV. Catching that good TV. Just so much going on over there. Watch for Sloan's Porch coming up, and had guest Father Larry on. If you're a fan of Father Larry, make sure you catch that replay. If you're not a fan of Father Larry, you may want to look into Father Larry. He's been cranking it up a notch lately, like taking hang on, my keyboard has a light on. The scroll lock is on. How do you turn that off? Right here with the scroll lock button. I don't know what it does, but it can't be good. Before we talk about tonight's episode, let me just remind you that on Fridays, guest Angular, co-host Angular, helps us run through the news of the week. About a 45-minute show, maybe an hour. Sundays is the Duppy Files. Simulstream cast with Sloan TV. The Duppy Files. Okay. Let's get to episode 31. Episode 31. It's going to require a screen change. There we go. Going to have to bring in our Bible. So, Revenjo Deutsche, I have to say that you almost can't look away from that sticker. You're just like, it's so well done. It's one of the classics. And I'm superstitious that almost that the chat's not the right window, so I'm just going to set my mind at ease by giving in to the obsession, the compulsion. So 31. What? And pop that out. And who just DM'd me? Let me take the risk and check during the show, because you never know. Could be important. It is something I will look at soon. Looks good. Okay. Jumbie Spirit Man in the house. The Duppy. Duppy, I don't know if you were here a minute ago. Mentioned Sunday. The Duppy Files. Simulstream cast on Sloan TV and G-Ross. 10 Eastern, 9 Central. Don't want to get that wrong. All right, let me jump straight into the show, because we're going to try to get the reading, very important, try to get it done quickly so we can jump to the panel. which will be Black Yoda and Friends. So this is episode 31. Our story so far has come from the Bible, Genesis 1:1 through Genesis 9:24. And the way it's been summarized so far is Ahia, my little pet name for Yahweh, I stole it from somebody. Tetragrammaton, YHWH, you can pronounce YH. Nobody knows, right? I like to go with Ahia. Ahia made the cosmos for human regency. It was reset once after evil civilization with fallen angel half-breeds ruined Earth. Blood drinking is illegal. Murder is a capital crime. Humanity descends from Noach's three sons. Noach partied hard one night and Ham got caught for dissing him. That's what we've learned in a crunched down summary format. So now let's read. Tonight's reading is going to be Genesis 9:25 through 10:5. Nope, just got here, says the Duppy. So our reading in English, let me do it in English first. It's pretty long, but I think we can get through it pretty quick. So he said, "Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants he shall be to his brothers." He also said, "Blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and let Canaan be his servant. May God enlarge Japheth," speaking of whatever Shem saw, or Ham saw. "May God enlarge Japheth, and let him dwell in the tents of Shem, and let Canaan be his servant." Noah lived 350 years after the flood, so all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. I'm not showing you this on the screen. Hang on. Genesis 9. Sorry, I forgot about that. Now, we'll continue just a little bit of chapter 10. Now these are the records of the generations of Shem, Ham, and Japhet, the sons of Noach, and sons were born to them after the flood. The sons of Japhet were Gomer and Magog, and Madai and Javan, and Tubal and Meshech and Tiras. The sons of Gomer were Ashkenaz, and Rephath and Togarmah. The sons of Javan were Elisha and Tarshish, and Kittim and Dodanim. From these, the coastlands of the nations were separated into their lands, everyone according to his language, everyone according to their family, everyone into their nations. Something like that. That took us down to here. Now, permit me to read this in... Hello, Pithagi. Black Yoda Revenge in the house. We being read to. Hi, Ankavanka. Now, the part where I have to focus. Oh, let me get you the visual. We're only being read to for a minute. Then we're going to chop it up. Then we're going to bring in Black Yoda and Friends. Genesis 9. Genesis 9, 25 on down. Bonka bonka, froggy. Okay. Let's see what happens. I'm going to try. Vayomer Arur Kenaan, Eved Avedim Yiye Lechav. Vayomer Baruch Ahaya Elohei Shem Vihi, Kenaan Eved Lamo. Yaft Elohim Layafet Veyishkon. Bayohole Shem Vihi Kenaan Even Lamo. Vechi Noach Achar Hamabul Shelosh Meot Shana Vachamishim Shana. Veyihu Kol Yime Noach Tesha Meot Shana Vechamishim Shana Mayamot. Okay, now Let's go to the next chapter. Read just a little bit of that. Genesis 10. Not 20. That'll be in a few weeks. Probably a lot of weeks, right? We're going to read 1 through 5. Be'ela toledot bene Noach Shem Cham Vayafet Vayivaldu lahem banim achar Hamabul. Bnei Yefet Gomer Umagog Umadei Vehayavan Betuval Umeshek Vetiras Uvene Gomer Ashkenaz Verafit Vetogarma Uvene Yavan Elayisha Vatarshish Ketim Vedodanim Mayela Nefredu Ye Hagoyim Birtzotam Ish Lil Shono Le Mishpe Chotam Be Him. It's almost like you've stumbled on one of those cable channels where on Saturday morning there's like a rabbi reading, only they read it better, right? Fair? Right. Cough up some lung butter. Really tasty lamb. All right. Now, let's break it down. And for that, we will turn back to this page. Genesis 9:25. He said, all right, we're going to crank through this pretty fast, I hope. All right. Vayomer Arur Canaan. He said, Canaan cursed. Ebed, slave. That's a servant. There's 800 usages in the Law and Prophets. By that I mean the Old Testament. Basically, a servant in nearly all the usage. Eved Avadim. Does it mean a slave to slaves or an uber slave? Because it's the same word twice in a row. He goes, Eved Avadim. So, most include, like most of the translations that are really literal say servant of servants. I feel it could go either way, but he's a uber slave, basically. Yiye loechav. He'll wind up being to his brothers. So servant of servant, he'll end up being to his brothers. Let's sum it up. These days, hang on. These days you enslave Canaanites. Oh, right. I changed it to you're reading this story as a bedtime story generations later. You know, these days we enslave the Canaanites because Ham dissed Noah while naked and drunk. That's bottom line here, right? We're going to enslave an entire people group because one of our ancient forefathers snickered at his dad's naked peen. So, our story so far, we can add a sentence. We enslaved Canaanites since Ham dissed Noah when he partied too hard one night. Now, it doesn't mean that the Canaanites as a culture didn't beclown themselves. We're going to see that, perhaps. I don't know. But I just can't help but as you're reading the story, you're like, Grandpapa is reading you the story, and you're like, that's why we enslaved the Canaanites. I get it now. He laughed at someone's pee-pee once. I'm just saying, right? I guess I'm in a mood tonight. All right, so there's no real change in verse 26 to our story. So I'm going to kind of gloss right over it because we read it in English. We read it in Hebrew, sort of. He said, blessed Yahweh said that, the God of Shem, and make Canaan the servant unto him be. All right, verse 27. Verse 27. The enlarge is so funny now that we've seen how we got here. Yaft, that comes from patha, to allure. There's 28 usages in the Old Testament, or as I like to say, Law and Prophets. This is a complicated word, but looking at it and in context, I'd say make superpopulating. Yaft, in this case. What do I mean by complicated word? Let me show you. Can he enlarge, seduce, deceive, entice, persuade, silly, become, entice? In context, I'm going with make superpopulating. I don't think I backed that up very well, but that's what my notes say, so I'm going to go with it. Then it goes on to say, Elohim le'efet ve'yishkon be'o hole shim vehi chena an even lamau. That means God, Japheth, and he'll hang out in Shem's tents and also have Canaans as slaves. So poor Canaan has to be a slave to both Shem and Japheth's group. So our story so far could have this. Shemites, even Japhethites, enslaved Canaanites because of Ham dissing Noah when he partied too hard one night. 28 and 29 and 1 and 2 don't really change things much. So let's zoom through them. 28. Lived Noah after the flood 300 years and 50 years. So 350 years after the flood. So were all the days of Noah 900 years and 50 years, and he died. So, old man. Giant, perhaps. These are the generations. I like the Toledot here. Notice the Toledot. The Toledot is very much a clear marker. Boom. Toledot. Toledot. And it comes, it's a divider of the story. These are generations of the sons of Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, and were born to them sons after the flood. So, flood, these three, and their sons. 10-2. The sons of Japheth: Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tiras. So our story so far. Ahiah made the cosmos for human regency. It was reset once after evil civilization with fallen angel half-breeds ruined Earth. Blood drinking is illegal and murder is a crime. Humanity descends from Noah's three sons. Canaanites are slaves since Ham dissed drunk Noah. Japheth had 7 named sons. All right. 3 more verses. We're on track because the third verse from now, we're going to do verse 3, verse 4. Verse 5, we're going to spend about 5 minutes on. Let me sip my Gatorade. Jiras, remind us of the Hebrew word for curse. There's 2 words for curse that I've come across so far. There's the way the ground is cursed because of Adam, the way Cain is cursed even more, and this curse. That's the same word. There's another word for curse, which is to make light or a trifling. Like like the water, when it abated, it's the same word as the lighter sort of cursed word. So there's like a minor, like p-t, and then there's like a t, So let me dig up that word. I forgot it already. Let's find it. We read it just a minute ago. So Arur is the one, Genesis 3:14, serpent gets cursed, curses the ground on account of you, cursed be Canaan. And here's where, in Genesis 5, here's where after the murder of Abel, or Genesis 4, you're cursed from the ground. So now your experience of the ground isn't cursed on your account. It's now the next generation of Cain. It's now, but there is another word for curse. It's a lighter, more trifling word. Let me find that for you. That'll be when the water's abated. Let me go back. Pew. The water receded. I think it'd be in here. Going back and decreased. I think it might be this or no. Maybe this one going back. No. Oh, receded maybe? No. Let me cheat. Curses in the Hebrew. Alar, Arar, and Kalal. Okay, where's Duhan? All right, well, I'm not going to dead air us to death, but there is another word for more like make a trifle. We've come across that, and we'll definitely come across it more as we go. All right, where were we? 10:3. Sorry, my Hebrew vocabulary just has not taken off yet. It will one day. I'm hoping. That's why I'm doing this. Try to learn it. I've learned like Haaretz means earth. You know, Hashemayim. I think that's heaven. All right. A couple of words, a couple of verses here. 10. Where were we? We were 10:3. Let's read 10:3. 10:3. All right, real quick. Okay. Computer slow. The sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah. So we can add to our story. Japheth had 7 named sons, including Gomer, who had 3. Let's go to Genesis 4. Sons of Javan, Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. So we could say Japheth had 7 named sons, including Gomer, who had 3, and Javan had 4. Now, Genesis 5. We're going to camp out on this for about 5 minutes, I think. It's going to take a few minutes. And then we'll be done with the Bible reading part of the show. Bethagi, I'm sorry, I can't remember that word for dissipate. When I'm done with, let me go look for that again. It's like right here. So, Genesis 8. Let's look at 8. Well, maybe the rain in the sky was restrained. That could be it. Let's try that. Bayikale? Shut up with strain. Man, it's right around here. Stopped. Bayisharu? No. I'm going to find it. Oh, decreased. Might be here. Verse 5. Man, where is it? All right, I gotta stop. We'll come across it again. What's going on here? All right, verse 5. What if they used lunar years back then? Maybe, Duppy. Maybe. But And as Pete Thaggy's pointing out, Genesis 8, 3 through 5. For Wednesday nights, I take a very literal approach. But yeah, let's debate it. All right, from these were separated the maritime peoples into their lands, everyone according to his language, according to their families, according to their nations. Mayeli Nefreidu. From this was parted out Iye. That comes from E, which is coast, region. There's 36 usages of that word stem in the Old Testament. Basically means coastlands. Hagoyim. And Duppy, I think this is right up your alley, this part. Especially next week. We're going to get into Japheth going north across to like what became the Alexandrian Empire, I think. But I think that's going to be next week. I think. Now, check this word out. For Hagoyim, that's Goy, that's the nation or people. There are 36 times that word stem is used in the Old Testament, according to the concordance. Be'ertzotam ish, to their lands, men. Lishono, that's tongue. It's 117 usages in the Old Testament. It's like a way of talking. Lemish be chautam behauyeyem. That's by family and by nation. So from this was parted out coastland nations to their places, men by talking style, nation, and family. So our story so far, Ahia made the cosmos for human regency. It was reset once after evil civilization with fallen angel half-breeds ruined Earth. Blood drinking is illegal, murder is a capital crime, humanity descends from Noah's 3 sons, Canaanites are slaves since Ham dissed-drunk Noah, Japhethites spread out by sea all over the place into the Goyim. Let me check this link I had put here. Got a couple comments here to read in this section, and then we'll be done for the reading part. Let's see. What did I say here? Maybe worth reading. So here's some translations of this. From these, the maritime, because I was fascinated with the Japhethites. When we got to this section, I'm like, Maritime people spread out into their territories by their clans with their nations. Coastland peoples. I mean, I'm looking for Phoenicians, right? The islands of the Gentiles divided their lands. People of the coastlands. Seafaring peoples. People of the coasts and islands. So, know what I'm saying? Macedonia and Greece. Yeah, Duppy. I said, yeah, like up into Greece. Only way to get a shorter year or a longer life. Lunar year would be 1 month. Divide by those crazy ages by 12. Normal lifespan. Doesn't quite work, Pete Thaggy points out. All right. Now, Matthew Henry's concise commentary. 10:1-7. This chapter shows, concerning the 3 sons of Noah, that of them was the whole earth overspread. No nation but that of the Jews can be sure from which of these 70 it has come. The lists of names of fathers and sons were preserved of the Jews alone for the sake of the Messiah. This is Matthew Henry's concise commentary. Many learned men, however, have with some probability shown which of the nations of the earth descended from each of the sons of Noah. To the posterity of Japheth were allotted the isles of the Gentiles, probably the island of Britain among the rest. All places beyond the sea from Judea are called isles, as in Jeremiah 25:22. The promise, Isaiah 42:4, the isles shall wait for his law, speaks of the conversion of the Gentiles to the faith of Christ. So could it mean places you have to take a boat to? Many commentaries do say that. When I look at the map of Mount Ararat, thinking that's where the ark was, that's you can't get to. So maybe it's from the author's perspective. Maybe Moses wrote this from an Egypt perspective near Canaan. Problem there. Same problem. So maybe it means easier to get to by boat. Now, let's take a look at this. Copy link. Yeah, Noah's sons were 100 by it was like 98. One of them was 98. Divide by 12, they would have been 8-year-old boys. From these, the coastlands of the nations were separated into their lands, everyone by language, families, and nations. Let's see. Why did I put this? It says here, Japheth's descendants settled mainly in the regions north and northwest of Palestine, spreading across Asia Minor to Greece. 10:1 through 5. Right here. So I'm kind of going with that. So our story so far, and then we'll turn it over to the panel. Ahia made the cosmos for human regency. It was reset once after evil civilization with fallen angel half-breeds ruined Earth. Blood drinking is illegal, and murder is a capital crime. Humanity descends from Noah's 3 sons. Canaanites are slaves, since Ham distrunk Noah. Japhethites moved by sea to Turkey and to Greece and beyond. Pause dramatically. All right, let us begin with the camera turned off so I can now join. Let's go into all right, putting in the chat. Black Yoda, the link is in the chat. Boom. Dun, dun, dun. They say a month has 30 days and so lived a number of years. Ew, an 8-year-old married. Ew. Ew. Is that Arkansas? West Virginia. Sorry. I used to live in Arkansas when I was 6 years old for a year. Who knows? Maybe I married a cousin while I was there. I don't remember. Okay. Black Yoda, Black Yoda. Calling all Yodaites. Black Yoda, Black Yoda. All right. We'll poke around with Genesis 6 while we're waiting. Different authors mixed up the two different measurements. Could be. Oh, we've got Black Yoda. Black Yoda's shaving.
Hello.
Hey, brother. Thank you.
Hey, you ever eat something? Now, for me, I have a sensitive stomach because I'm vegetarian.
Mm.
And so, if something isn't right, it'll make my stomach cramp. Because it was processed with something else. Now, normally that happens if it was something like meat related. And I feel it instantly. I was having an episode like that tonight. So I didn't know if I was going to participate. I've been laying down this whole time. I feel better. So I think I'll put some energy into it, people. Keep it 100, right?
Your dedication is profound. And if you need to... yeah.
It feels like when I get that kind of cramps, it feels like lightning all throughout my lower abdomen. You know what I mean? Oh, dude, it's the
Yeah.
worst. How has your week been?
It's been pretty good. I told the blessing that is my job that I kind of wanted a different job, which is a
Hey,
risky move.
can you turn your volume up a little bit?
Hello. Yes, hello. I'm pretty loud. I really am. I'm cranked up. I'm like max level. Well, I'm redlining. Now I am redlining.
You're not very loud to me though.
Oh. There is a setting that you might be able to control in the top right of my window on your app.
I'm on my phone. I'm not on the laptop.
Yeah, I don't know how the phone app for Jitsi works.
I'll just have to pay close attention.
Super close. Anyway, pretty good week. Got some good sleep last night. So thank you. The lighting is almost like the Blair Witch Black Yoda project.
Wait, what?
Like with the way your lighting is, I feel like we're almost watching like a Blair Witch Black Yoda project.
Oh no, I was walking through the house. I was making my way outside so I could smoke a cigarette.
Yep.
You're right. Is that
So,
more like it?
Yeah. Well, anyway, if you end up needing to take a little break or something, you just tell us. But we love,
No,
I
no,
want you
I feel
here.
I feel a lot better than an hour ago. Like an hour ago, oh dude, that shit was like, ooh wee. I have a truther friend that I went to go meet in Maryland a couple of years ago. And here in Phoenix, I'm used to ordering from certain Chinese restaurants. I know their menu, right?
Yep.
And so I hung out with her for like a week. And I think it was like the second or the third night. I was like, hey, let's order some Chinese food. That way you don't have to cook.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever sauce that was on my vegetables,
Yeah.
it was made with some kind of broth.
Yeah.
And I didn't think to ask because I was used to like, are you frozen?
No, I don't think so.
No,
Am I?
your picture is frozen.
Aw. Let me re-enter the dojo. Is that better?
It's the same, but it's more blurry.
Blurry.
Oh, I see you now. I see you
Cool.
now. But anyway, we ordered the Chinese food. I didn't think nothing of it. And I don't know, I had some kind of Szechuan with like vegetables and rice.
Some young guy.
But like 20 minutes later, dude, my stomach just started fucking doing that whole lightning thing. And it was painful as shit. And she kept asking me, she was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I'm a vegetarian. She was like, yeah. I was like, there was something in there that isn't vegetarian. And it's making my stomach hurt. And for like 2 hours, bro, I was just like cramped up on the side of her bed, like man down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Freaking man down. There was nothing I could do about it. You just got to let it pass.
Probably some kind of meat product in the sauce. Is that what you're thinking?
Like a broth or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But there's a bigger point that I want to make to people about that.
Yep.
I can eat a fruit or vegetable that I've never had in my entire life. That will not happen.
Right.
But let it be tainted with meat, that will happen. That has to tell you volumes on things, right?
Right.
Just think about what I'm saying. We were tricked into eating meat. That's not a natural thing. We're not meant to do that. And then you fast forward to today. There was an article. I came across it about a year ago, but one of my truther friends posted it on Facebook like yesterday.
Real quick, you said taint a minute ago. I just got to point that out.
What's that?
You said taint a minute ago. I can't let that go by. Just wanted to call it out.
I said tainted.
That includes taint. Just saying.
Tainted is like saying polluted.
I know.
But you're using it as a different way.
I'm just being a child. Keep going.
Yeah, you
please.
are.
Yes.
Does Black Yoda has to chastise you on your own show?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, so one of my truther friends had posted a video, and I saw this video about a year or two ago, where they want to use blood from like children to give to adults to make them younger.
Right.
And I forget the name. I forget the name of the damn program in the company. Excuse me. But I illustrated to her. I was like, you know what? That's just one step away from cannibalism.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the devil's indoctrination of meat to us was to push us in that direction. And now you have all these other companies that are coming out with celebrity meat.
Right.
They're taking the cells from celebrities or so-called celebrities, right?
Right.
They're bioengineering them to grow meat in a lab
Yes.
to where you can literally eat a human version of your favorite celebrity in a burger.
Right.
Right?
A Britney burger.
Yeah, good one. Good one. Exactly. I wish I would have thought that one. A Britney burger. It's a bitch.
There's Sloan with a Britney burger.
God, that was a good one. I need to write that one down. Dude, I got banned on Facebook again for like 48 hours. Yeah. Last week I got banned for like 24 hours. And this one was really stupid. Dude, I got banned. I took a blow-up version of an emoji, and then with like the comic box, it says, I kill you. Like Ahmed style. I kill you. Right?
I kill you.
And one of my truther friends, she had posted something, and I used that picture as a response because I was, because it was funny. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But Facebook's AI doesn't recognize humor.
Right. So, yeah.
Dude, I can't wait for Facebook to get wide exposed the way Twitter is being exposed right now.
So my dad told me today that when Elon buys Facebook and YouTube, it's going to be combined into UTwitface.
Actually, you know what? Last Friday when I was talking to Brad and Craig for the Friday night show, Brad really did bring up a valid point. Facebook is the perfect platform. It has everything.
Yeah. I saw that. I heard that part. Yep.
And they're fucking it up. They are genuinely fucking it up.
Mm-hmm. So what you
there was something I wanted to talk to you about tonight.
It
has to do with Christmas.
Oh, love it. That pagan holiday, because we know Jesus was born on September 11th, which they desecrated, and that this is just Saturnalia. Go ahead.
Yeah. I actually called my father earlier. Him and I, we don't really get along.
Yeah.
But I called him. I was like, hey, I got the Wednesday night podcast for Bible Thumping. I want to ask you a question because I wanted to bring it up with the chat. And he's like, Steve, And I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to argue with you. I just wanted to bring it up and just fucking, get your opinion on it.
Right.
We still ended up arguing. Right?
No.
Not, I expect that with him.
Yeah.
That's just how it is, right? But Nimrod.
Yep.
Is one of the grandsons to Noah.
Mm-hmm.
The one that built the Tower of Babel.
Right.
Apparently, when he died, his wife, her name was Saturnalia. Did you know about that?
I did not know that.
Now, I do need to look this one up because I didn't know that. Matter of fact, as I explain this, do you mind trying to type that in to see, if you can find a little something?
Yeah, the first thing I'm getting is Semiramis, which is Semiramat. That might mean that. Let's look.
I don't know.
Tammuz. There's Tammuz also. Semiramis. Yeah.
What I was reading earlier,
Shinar.
she had him declare a sun god when Nimrod died. And she was pregnant or got pregnant, right? And she claimed that she got pregnant by the sun rays from her deceased husband and whatnot, right?
Right.
She named that child Nimrod. Now, if that's true, I didn't know about that either.
I do think he's a half-breed. I think he was tall. I think he was yeah.
She declared him the incarnate of her deceased husband.
Creepy.
Right?
Yep.
His birthday was December 25th.
Ooh, nice.
That's what I wanted to run by you. Have you ever heard about that part?
No, I haven't heard about it. But I am
I still need to do a deep dive on that one, people. I can't claim that one as 100. I just learned about that one earlier today.
Ooh, Duppy brings up an interesting point. Put Nimrod as a pharaoh and Semiramis as Isis. That's a good match.
Tell Duppy to jump in the chat.
Duppy, jump in the chat.
Yeah, Duppy.
For those who need the link, let me repost it. Dink. So before we get too far away from your vampire cow point, your vampire meat point, I'm almost going to say the same thing you said, but with just maybe a tiny extra on it. If I eat a cow, they can point and say, there's you eating a lesser animal, so we can eat you. Is that kind of what you were saying too?
No, not even close.
Oh, well, you were saying they were trying to normalize vampirism, right?
Cannibalism,
right. Yeah. With the blood.
No, what I was saying is if you take a group of people that were taught nothing but fruits and vegetables, and then you start to introduce meat.
Yeah.
There's no reason to eat meat. Especially when you had the Garden of Eden. Everything was in abundance. There was no need to eat meat. Think about that. They weren't having barbecues in the Garden of Eden. They had luscious big fruit and big vegetables. Like the shit was abundant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could you imagine the pasta that they were making back then?
Right. Well, they definitely knew how to make some good breads.
Now, like I can eat like dairies. It doesn't bother my stomach at all. But it's been well over 10 years since I've been a vegetarian, right? So like if something is accidentally put in my food, I feel it. Like, and it hurts. Like it physically hurts.
You kind of need to roll with some food tasters. I'm just saying.
Some what?
Some food tasters, people to like nibble on the food first and tell you if it's good. You need like one person carrying a mirror, and then like a food taster, and maybe someone to write your checks for you. I'm just saying you got to roll with a posse.
Hey, Duppy, how's it going, bro? Is he not clicked over yet?
Unmute, Mr. Dupster.
All right, I think I'm okay now.
You are good.
Hey, can you talk more into the mic because you're low? Like
yeah, sorry. How about now? Is it all right?
Oh, that's great. That's
so
great.
Duppy, quick reminder: we're on all 5 channels, so that includes YouTube and Facebook. We can mute those anytime, but just to let you know, they're on.
All right.
So, did you hear the part, Duppy, about Nimrod that I was talking about?
Yeah. I didn't disagree, but I was just trying to point out that at least the stuff I've dug into, Nimrod's like an archetype.
Yeah.
For the god that's on Earth, that is the son of 2 gods up in the heavens, sort of like the pagan trinity. And you have kind of the same structure all over the ancient world. They just give the different gods different names.
I've noticed that too. I've seen a lot of that. Yeah.
I didn't know anything about that kind of stuff until like 2 years ago, and I was amazed at how similar the structure of all those pagan religions were, and they just had different names.
And a lot of people that want to mock the Bible. I got into it before I got censored I got censored last night around midnight. I was in the middle of an argument, and I got censored from a post that I had made like a couple hours before. And it was a non-believer that was mocking the Bible. And
what platform did you get censored on?
Facebook.
Oh, yeah, that figures.
You're right. But she was mocking the Bible, and her point was similar to like what you're talking about now, like how you have these similarities in different cultures. And she was just flat out mocking God, but she believed in Christmas, which made absolutely no sense to me because what's his name? What is his name? The guy with the beard. He's a conservative. He's on our side. Matt Walsh, right?
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, he's been popping up on my Facebook a lot lately, right? And he was praising Tim Allen and did an article about how he's revamping a TV show about playing the role of Santa Claus.
Well, he did this. Is it the same Santa Claus character he did in those movies?
I don't know. I know
the Santa Claus
from the article. It sounded like they're doing a TV series off of it.
They accidentally spelled Satan in that movie with the kids or something.
And so in the headline of the article, it was talking about how it's bringing Christianity back to the holiday, right? And so I asked a very simple question. How is Christmas a Christian holiday?
Right.
From my point of view, it's not. It's not even close.
Never has been.
Yeah.
And that started excuse my language, G. Ross. I know how you feel about it.
You got it.
But that sparked a fuck ton of arguments off of that one question, and nobody could answer it adequately. They were just defending frivolous points of views.
Right.
And I have this atheist chick that wants to like bark about how the Bible isn't real, God isn't real, but Christmas is. Right. How dare I talk about Christmas? Will y'all please make that make sense? Because that is so illogical to me. Please make that make sense. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like that was a real conversation.
Well, Duppy said
I believe it.
Yep.
I've seen conversations like that a lot, and everybody has their certain things that they believe in strongly, and other ones they're more lax on. So probably that person really, really, really enjoys the Christmas holiday and just can't bear to downgrade it.
So in that argument, I was illustrating how Easter is another pagan holiday. It's not really about the resurrection of Christ.
Ishtar.
Back during Roman times, they were having orgies.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want you guys to think about something. Now this I'm in total Black Yoda mode when it comes to this, right? During another point I wanted to illustrate. In the very beginning of our country, do y'all even know that Christmas was outlawed?
I didn't know it was outlawed.
No, I didn't know that.
Because of the history related with the paganism and the child sacrifice.
My guess would be that you're talking about the Puritans or something like that.
Probably.
Right?
Probably. But the debauchery related to Christmas, because Christmas was like a 2-week time period, right? And they just used to run amok, just doing the most. And so a long time ago, I had came across something that was talking about Christmas being outlawed in the very beginning. Now, I got to thinking about it. If the Romans were like when they made these baby sacrifices, it was to bless the couple to have a more prosperous year on a selfish material level, right?
Yeah, I think all of the pagan sacrifices were exactly that.
Right. So
and it didn't matter if it was a baby or not. You know, you could be sacrificing a sheep or a chicken, or just leaving some of your food. You know,
it would matter to me. I promise you that. But I got to thinking about it. They were having these orgies at the same time that they made like Easter a holiday. Now do the math on that. How long does it take to grow a child in the womb?
Mm-hmm.
And now you have all of these
weeks.
babies after these orgies of, during the Easter time.
Yeah.
And now they're ripe. They're ripe for the sacrifice at this point.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Come December.
Yeah.
Dude, it's fucking disgusting.
And you know what's the common thread in all of this? Regardless of what religion or civilization was doing it, it's the cycles of the sun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they like to worship. Yeah,
you're talking about like the winter solstice and all that stuff. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, and I didn't know this until I read a bunch of stuff about it. But the sun has technically died on December 22nd, the solstice, more or less, and then it doesn't start rising for another 3 days. It stays in the same place in the sky, and then after 3 days, so like on the 26th,
so that's 3 days in the grave.
See, this is why I like having group conversations, because I come across so much material, I forget a lot. Sometimes I try to write down notes and then I don't see the notes or whatever, but when I have group conversations like this, it will trigger a thought of something that I've already came across. And Duppy, you just did that.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No. It's good. It's good. You two are gonna like this one. I don't know who's in the chat. I can't see the chat, but you guys are gonna love this one. Remember the Georgia Guidestones?
Yep.
We talk about flat Earth sometimes on here, Duppy. I don't know if you're a fan of that or not.
No.
There was a hole in one of the pillars, and its sole focus was the focus on the North Star.
Which pillar are you talking about?
I don't know which pillar it was, but it was in the Georgia Guidestones. I think I have a video.
Okay, one of the ones in the Guidestones. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's got an astronomical alignment to it, like Stonehenge
but
and all the other ones.
It didn't matter what day of the year it was. You could see the Northern Star through that hole. I found that marvelous. because on a geocentric model, that wouldn't work. And I'll leave that one at that. I just wanted to just drop that little time bomb in your, in your lap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know if that. I'll have to think about whether that works or not. I could see on, on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis, it would work, but the Earth's axis is tilting with the seasons, so the North Star would move somewhat relative to that.
I'm not gonna argue with you about it, Duppy. I'm just throwing it out there, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
just dropping that little nugget in your lap. You deal with it how you want to deal with it.
Did I ever show you, Duppy, the picture of the airplane trail that I posted?
Let me say this before you finish, G. Ross. Not to cut you off. No Duppy, I actually really like you. I hope you know this. Like, I admire you, actually.
No homo, though, right?
Even if it was a little bit. I mean, would you be upset?
No, it would be an honor.
No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have did it. I'm joking, people. I love women. Shit.
Dang, essay. Pete Thaggy points out Christmas was Saturnalia, which Romans celebrated.
Tell Pete Thaggy to jump in the chat, too. I missed him from last week. I probably should apologize to him. I talked over him too many times.
Thaggy wants to spar.
Tell him Pete Thaggy, please join the conversation. It'll make it more interesting.
The link is 4 times linked. I just linked it again.
I actually like Pete Thaggy too. I mean, anybody that has the balls to debate me, I admire you. I'm flattered. But please understand, I take so much time to do my homework and my research. And G. Ross, I tell you all the time, I will hardly ever talk about something that I don't know 100. And if I don't know it 100, I will be the first one to say, hey, I only know this part way. I'm still learning about this one, but hey, this is what I came across. Right. Let's talk about it. I did that with the whole Nimrod thing.
Yep.
Right. But I found that interesting. I already knew about the Roman way of celebrating Saturnalia and the baby sacrifices and shit, but I didn't know about the Nimrod aspect.
Well, it's so similar across all those different cultures that what boggles my mind is, why is it like that? Somebody had to be carrying these.
I think about that too. I
these
genuinely
principles, do. And the best candidate that I can think of without going all woo is the Phoenicians.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have it with the Egyptians, with Isis and
Well, I would argue that the Phoenicians and the Egyptians were far more closely tied together than most people think. So yeah.
Hey, P. Thaggy, unmute your mic, bro. I'm glad we could entice you to join the show.
I think Thaggy just wants to spar.
Oh, that's fine.
Unmute.
He'll figure it out.
So, tonight's big finding was that the Japhethites are roughly the Greeks. That's all I have to say.
Was that something that you deduced yourself or agreed with something somebody else interpreted?
Yeah, they go kind of north from where it looks like they were. I'm trying to think of the only place they could have gone. They kind of head, to me, they head across Turkey and then Greece and then spread out who knows where from there. But just kind of taking the glom of overall kind of zeitgeist or gestalt. I'm just kind of pocketing that, and you'll see as I go through the weeks coming up, I call him Japhethite the Greek. I'm just basically kind of putting that as the current model, updatable, but that's what I'm going with for now. Just not a lot
Can
of
you
hardcore
elaborate
digging.
on that one? Because that's not ringing any bells with me.
I'm trying to keep track as I go forward where Ham's descendants go, Shem's descendants go, Ham and Japheth.
Right.
And Japheth went kind of northwest.
I don't remember whose father Nimrod's is. Was it Shem? I'm thinking it. Can you Google that real quick?
He's going to
I'm
be
thinking-
under Ham. That's going to be under Ham.
Was it Ham?
Because those are the bad guys. The bad guys are all concentrated under Ham.
And that was another thing I wanted to bring up.
Is that why eating pigs is bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
I like Ham.
That was another point that I wanted to bring up was how did Noah's descendants go bad? I'm not saying they all did, but
Ooh, I have a theory.
certain ones.
If you go literal, what if one of the wives,
Or the sons of or the grandsons of Noah? How did they go bad?
what if one of the wives was already pregnant with a bad guy and had the baby on the boat?
Before the boat?
Yeah, like she got on the boat and then 2 months in, they're like, bro, you're pregnant. Oh, sorry, I've got a corrupted bloodline
You know what?
on the boat.
I've never actually thought about that. That is a damn good point.
I haven't seen anything in the text to say it didn't happen.
That would make a lot of sense, though. See, this is why I like group conversation. Dude, that never crossed my mind.
It didn't mind
Like,
until
when
I
it came
saw.
to that kind of trial and tribulation, I always related that to Adam and Eve
Right.
and the serpent, right?
You know that think about this one. This will blow your mind because it just blew mine. That is the exact same scenario as is in the first Alien movie.
Yep. That's genius.
Are you talking about the Alien movie with Sigourney Weaver?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the very first one.
Oh, wow, that is way back.
Yep.
Did we just lose Thaggy?
Yeah, he's probably going to hopefully try again.
He'll figure it out.
He's got to switch probably the audio device. That's
I
usually-
have a feeling like when he does figure it out, he's coming in with a hot mic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But hey, you guys, that was a hey, Pete Thaggy, unmute.
Okay, there we go.
There you
Sorry,
are.
I was
There he is.
switching devices. I was clumsy. I was switching devices. I'm in between phones.
Okay.
All right, what's up, gentlemen?
Bro, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm hanging in there.
All right, keep it 100. And
Yeah.
keep in mind, I'm not your enemy. I'm your friend. Right?
No, I don't consider you an enemy at all.
No, hey, I don't know if you guys know this. There's a lot of haters on the Foxhole app now.
Mm-mm. Who?
Dude, I used to be friendly with everybody, but there is one in particular that does not like Black Yoda.
Hmm.
I completely forgot about him. And I accidentally ran into his show earlier this morning because I got bored. I got kicked off Facebook. I couldn't, completely forgot about him. And as soon as I clicked this shit, I made a couple of comments and I instantly realized who he was. And I was just like, this motherfucker. So that was another question I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
Foxhole has been blowing up. It's been growing leaps and bounds. The three of you, are you of the opinion, like I am, that some of these 3-letter agencies are infiltrating the Foxhole?
I mean, you have to assume they are.
As a podcaster.
Yeah, I think they've probably been there since the beginning. There doesn't seem to be very many of them though, compared to other platforms.
But I think they're doing it though. So all I want to say is, if that's the case, be careful, people. Be careful who you fuck with. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and I apologize for the F-bombs, G. Ross, but I just started drinking my beers and shit.
I really like the block functionality.
Wait, there's a block function?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where's the block function?
Go to chat. Click on the little
Click on the
cog thing.
gear. Yeah.
Are you talking about like on a computer or like on the phone?
No, on a person's name, on a person in the chat. You just click the cog, the gear.
Click on the gear next to P. Thaggy.
Oh wow! That was so rude. That was
buddy.
That was so funny, but rude. Oh, all right. I got it. Ah, shit.
Vanka says,
hey, let's get back to the grandchildren of Noah.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
How did some of them go sour? How can you come from? Now keep in mind, your family just escaped the flood, and you're having to rebuild.
Well, remember Ham,
God's hand, right? You've experienced it. So how the fuck do they go bad?
So Ham misbehaved.
Of maybe one of those wives was already pregnant. Let's get back to that.
Yeah, I think that I haven't let go of that ever since that kind of popped in.
But isn't it clear that sort of the first shot across the bow of one of them being bad was Ham doing his bad thing,
right?
So,
or was Noah in the wrong to get drunk? That's something I'm not sure about.
We don't know.
We tells you in all kinds of times and spaces in the Bible, God really didn't mind the wine.
No,
he didn't.
Agreed.
You know, but he would make comments about abusing the wine.
Right. Pythagi, what were you saying?
Well, it's later in Genesis, we find out that God wants. He says to Isaac that he's going to make him the father of a great nation because he's going to keep his promise to Abraham, who, quote, kept his instructions, commands, statutes, and laws.
Right.
Now, this is pre-Moses, so in the time of Noah to Abraham, we know very little about this religion and whether drinking was allowed. I mean, there's no way to know.
Right.
Well, just look at the rest of the Bible. I mean, and as an example.
But yep.
I guess Noah didn't have a drag queen story hour to celebrate the end of the flood.
All right. Let's give Noah some leeway. You just built this big ass ark.
Mm-hmm.
You don't masses die with this flood, and now it's on you to try to help rebuild civilization. I think the stress levels was beyond a therapist. And if the man wanted a bottle of wine, do you blame him? He had to grow the fucking fruit to even fucking make them wine in the first place.
He worked hard.
Like, do you blame him? Would really? We're blaming Noah now?
So did Noah perhaps act a little lewd in the tent in some way?
He could have fermented the goat and camel milk and stuff while he was on the boat too.
Well, let's give him a little credit, like on a Jesus level.
That's not what the Bible says. It says after the waters receded, he made a vineyard. He dug out a vineyard and so that would have taken time to cultivate.
Okay.
Well, let's give him some Jesus credit. He didn't ask for that. God dubbed him with that.
We don't know. The book of Genesis skips a lot of stuff.
But it does kind of say...
It tells us in the Bible that God went to Noah and was like, hey, bro, this is what I'm about to do. I like you. I want to save you. So build this ark, save these animals, try to convince some people again, but this is what I'm going to do. In so many words, that's basically what the Bible said.
Well, I mean, I like your other question earlier was, when they repopulate the earth, when they smash the earth,
right?
You have to wonder, however many generations grew up under Noah, he lived another 300 years, something like that, after the flood.
No, you wonder Noah lived how many generations. 950, didn't he?
No, but 350 after the flood.
Yeah. So how many children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, and great great grandchildren can you have in the span of 350 years? Probably a lot. So if the story is true, he's repopulating the earth, and you're asking, like, if this guy's still alive and he used to talk to God himself, the Most High, like in person, like spoke with him, and I can go and still sit in his lap and ask him about the old days,
That's a good question because
you really wonder.
that goes back to my point. You know, my earlier question.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was
If
saying. You had
how
raised
did
this
the
earlier.
grandchildren know this
Right.
being a thing and they went bad?
Right.
Not all of them, but some of them.
Well,
That
you bring
really
up a good.
blows my mind. I can't understand that one.
So you bring up a good point. Noah flies off the handle, and after one misstep, curses Canaan, which is Ham's kid.
Okay.
So you don't get a lot of chances with Noah. He cuts you loose right away.
So does God.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying.
That's why I made the comment about Christmas being a Christian holiday.
Mhm.
I was like, why is it a Christian holiday?
It's not.
That's all I said,
Right.
And it sparked so much argument off of Matt Walsh's page.
Christmas is
And
like
that
a
wasn't
chat.
even my intention. I wasn't trying to start an argument.
Christmas is
I
a
wanted
chat.
a legit answer. You know what I mean?
Christmas is a chat slide. Hey, here we are. We are very Christian. Now put a tree in your living room. You know,
When
like,
it tells you not to in the Bible,
right.
it
And
tells you
has-
to stay away from those pagan
yeah.
religions.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, 144. You remember where that tree might have come from, right?
Elaborate.
The family tree, the tree out of the
Yep.
womb. Is that
Yep.
what you're thinking, Duppy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
there.
that's not the way it describes it in the Bible, but I hear what you're saying.
Oh,
Nah,
You're saying
actually, the
it's
Bible has
not
a couple of
an
hints that a man
evergreen?
may be a tree.
What's that?
There's a couple spots in the Bible where you can see that a tree could represent a man, actually. It's a little.
I can see that. I really can.
I got to
I
dig
can
those
see
up
that.
again.
The Bible, see, people,
It's man
let
bear
me
tree.
throw this out there.
Right.
The Bible is so complicated that a man personally has to grow to a point to understand first level. You grow a little bit more in your personal life, then you understand second level, and then you got to go over the Bible again, right? And as you keep growing and understand like the life around you, you relate to the Bible in different levels. This is why I love participating with this particular show. And you know what? And as I've been doing this with you, G. Ross, I first told you my stomach was cramped. I didn't know if I wanted to do it. I'm a troop through it. I'm not even thinking about that right now.
he's coming alive. So I thought Christmas was all about, like, Santa sees a star in the east. He goes and visits the Christ child and gives him gifts, and then the baby laughs and touches his nose and makes him immortal. And then he goes on to give gifts to everybody forever and ever after,
So
as an extension of God's grace.
let me elaborate off of that, please. So
Real
in the
quick.
argument with one of the ladies that I had off of Facebook before I got censored, she brings up Saint Nicholas and how he was a thing and blah blah blah, Saint Nicholas, this and that, right? So I had to point out to her that the Vatican itself claimed that there was never a Saint Nicholas, never existed. Pure fiction, right? She didn't like that. And she brought up something about Germany. And I was like, you know what? I'm glad you did that because that brings up Krampus and the
Mm-hmm.
way they look at our holiday, right? There's devils related with Krampus,
Yes.
naughty and nice and blah, blah, blah. And if you're not fucking good enough, these demons are going to come and get you. These goat walking demons,
Right.
right? Black Yoda, baby, I could take this conversation in so many different directions. Like, I'm glad my grandparents had enough sense to raise me in the church, and I'm glad I had enough sense to respect God as I got older. but I'm a different creature. I even told that lady, I was like, look, I'm not trying to argue with you, but I'm a different kind of Christian than you. And to be honest, when we go to war, I don't want you to fight with me. I want better and stronger soldiers to fight with me. Was I rude for saying that to her?
A little.
That's a real question. I'm not even trying to be funny.
It's callous. It's cavalier.
Abrupt, maybe.
I don't even know if you mean it. Like, if that day were to come, would you really mean it?
I wouldn't want weak soldiers with me. I would rather fight by myself than have weak solars.
Theory. We're fighting that fight now, today, these days.
I believe that.
in the foxhole.
Dude, I made a separate comment where I was like, look, people, I honestly believe that we're in the end times.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, there were people that laughed at that with the little laughy emoji. And I'm looking at that like, wow. Y'all want to celebrate Christmas and you're not even paying attention to the conversation. You're just blowing it off like it's a comic strip.
People
do I sound like I'm being comical? Like, no, this is not a comic to me. Like, dude, I don't know why I get so upset this time of the year. And I get how people look at it, but they're giving their energy to demons that hate us.
So let me ask you all a question that I think ties into this. It'll seem a little bit off on a tangent, but I think it ties into the end times and this time of year. Has anyone noticed that the people around them are all getting sick for like a week or two and you're not, with respiratory diseases like the last couple weeks?
You know what? I've only been sick one time my entire life.
Right.
Well, actually 2 times. I had the chicken pox. I had the flu when I was 20.
Yeah.
Anything else was something that I did to myself.
Right.
And no, I know exactly what you mean. Like, wait, go. Before we even start this conversation,
Right.
type in nocebo.
Nocebo?
Now we all know what the placebo effect is.
The nocebo.
Placebo effect is when you take a pill thinking that it's going to heal you and it's going to be magic and it's going to help you with whatever you're trying to fight, right?
Right.
Nocebo is the complete opposite. G. Ross, please look up the definition and read off the definition, if you will, sir, because I like where you're taking this.
Yeah, negative expectations of the patient cause the treatment to have more negative effect than it otherwise would. So it's like you said, the opposite of placebo.
Yeah.
So if you think you won't get sick, you won't. If you think the medicine won't help, it won't.
But the problem with nocebo is they've been fear porning COVID.
Right.
Oh my God. Run out, get the boosters and the shots and the blah, blah, blah. COVID. You're going to fucking die. What people don't realize is before COVID, on an average, yearly, 400,000 people would die from just regular flu.
Right. Flu was nasty.
But they never talked about those numbers. They never hyped them up.
In
but
2020, the flu went away.
Right.
Oh, I know. Trust me, I know. Right. My point is,
yeah,
they never hyped up regular flu, back in the day.
Ooh,
right. But then when COVID became a thing, they were like, "Oh my God, we got 10,000 more cases!"
But
every fucking day, right?
They did do run-ups. Do you remember H1N1?
They tried.
Those were test runs.
H1N1, swine flu, fucking bird flu, they tried.
But what I'm getting at,
trying. That's my point.
What I'm getting at is you mentioned end times, and then this is like a plague thing. And I think we're seeing a heartbeat of it. Like, I'm just anecdotally saying, everyone around me, like we all went out and had a dinner for work. And there was like 8 people there. 7 of them all got sick for like a week with a cough and all this other stuff. And they're like, "Did you get it?" I'm like, "Nope." Now I feel a little.
How many of them were vaccinated?
Well, that's what I'm starting to wonder.
This is before the vax, right? What we're talking about
I'm talking about last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Have you seen a pattern?
Their immune systems are.
That's what I'm starting to say.
they're effed. There's
Right.
nothing we can do to help them with that. Their DNA has changed, and their immune systems are gone.
Right, but
And
what if
y'all,
one of
look, y'all got to understand that I even have family members that I beg not to get that shit, and they did it anyway. My father, my uncle, my favorite first cousin, he's literally the first grandchild in my family.
so
I'm gonna lose a lot of people in the next
you
5
are
years.
we all are. If
And y'all need to get strong with God to handle it.
but if one
And
of them
you know, if I don't say anything polite tonight, at least understand what I'm saying right now. Get strong with God to be able to handle those losses. Solidify yourself and understand death isn't permanent. And I'll leave that one at that. Death is not permanent. Get strong with God. It's foot to ass time, people.
Sloan TV brings up a good point. Change the furnace filters regularly.
Wait. Sloan is in the house and he's not in the chat.
Sloan's in the
Sloan,
house.
if you don't get your goofy ass in the chat, I admire you too, bro.
You know, Sloan's one of the hardest. Sloan may be the hardest working man in Foxhole biz. There's a couple others like Season
Every time I
Pixels,
turn on
412.
Foxhole, Sloan is live doing something. You know what I mean?
So if he
You
needs
got
a
the
break,
computer
I've never
working in the
seen
background and
Sloan.
shit.
I've never seen Sloan guest on another show before.
so no, I had him as a. We did Q&A.
Sloan, the invite is out there, bro. We love you. Participate.
I'm pretty sure. I can. Yeah, for
if
sure.
we keep saying his name, he might jump in. Everybody just got to say Sloan this, Sloan that.
He already said he's working
Sloan
hard. He's got to go to sleep
Sloan
early.
Easter,
Brother
Sloan
Sloan,
holiday.
you rest.
Sloan
You
for
do your
president,
thing.
2024.
Don't listen to Black Yoda. Do the opposite of whatever Black Yoda's saying. But if you want to come on, you know you're 100% always welcome.
All I was getting at,
No,
if he build up the ego, he might jump in.
No,
you know
he
what I mean?
would.
Like I was teasing at that, right?
No, you know what? Actually, if we switch to the topic that he requested, which is the ancient coins of Fritaria.
Wait, the ancient coins of what?
Fritaria.
No, it's a joke. It's a joke.
It is a joke.
Oh.
Fritaria.
Fritter.
I'll bet it took forever to clean the mud off of those coins.
Yeah.
Petrified, fossilized fritters.
Wait, where's the Russian lady at? Is she in the chat?
Anka Vanka in the chat.
Okay, what's up?
Yeah, get her in here.
No, she's
Anka.
funny, dude. I really
Froggy.
like her.
Rover,
Really,
let Anka come
she's
over.
really funny, and I like her voice. And where's Just Tim?
Just Jim. I haven't seen him in a while. About 2 weeks.
Oh, did I say? I meant Jim.
Yep.
Fuck, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes we have Hangton Alien Surfer on here too.
He hasn't been around in the last few weeks. I've noticed that too.
He's been doing Three Beermen still.
I noticed that too, but he was on last night. He called into Leonard's show like out of nowhere. But he has been MIA.
Yeah, work was keeping him pretty busy, I think, is what I picked up.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Oh, that's excusable. So let's get back to the Bible thump.
Oh yeah, where were we?
We left off with Noah's kids.
Oh yeah. You said how come in just a matter of a few generations, everyone turned their back on God and like pretended that he didn't exist, and they had to make idols and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, dude, we just got out of the episode that wiped everything out. Like, how do you ignore that and you go to like some Luciferian shit?
Do you think
that blows my fucking mind? I don't get that.
Do you think Ham could have been pissed that some of his best friends were just killed in the flood?
Ooh.
Well, I mean, like the Bible's silent
on a superficial. No, people are superficial. G. Ross, you brought up a good point. That is a damn good point. I never thought about it.
You mean like he had some sort of
some besties, some co-workers or best friends, ex-girlfriend, whatever the fuck, a side chick. He could have had a favorite side chick, is what G. Ross is not in my words, but kind of like what he's getting at.
Yeah. I mean,
that is a good. What made you think of that?
I don't know. I'm just sitting here thinking, like, you kept saying how God wiped the slate clean. That's a lot of murder that you have survivor's guilt if you're those 6-7 people. 1, 2, 8 people. If you're those 8 people, you got survivor guilt.
I don't think Noah was the only person. I think there was a lot more than just Noah. It had to be. But the reason why the Bible tracks this particular lineage is because of Christ. That's what this whole lineage is about, is Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Have y'all never thought of that?
I mean, every time someone suggests a connection between the Old
Even
Testament
with Adam and Eve,
let
it's about this lineage to get to Christ.
Yeah,
but I think God had many other examples. Let's take Adam and Eve and like times it by like 100. I think it's on that level. There were like 100 Noahs. There were like 100 Adam and Eves. Like I really think like that.
Wait, why?
Because you need the math to make fucking humanity work. You need
brothers and sisters did it.
You need the genetics.
No, not in the literal interpretation.
A father and son and a daughter and get a population. You can't do that. You need the genetics. Science has taught us that, right?
Michael Myers.
That's basic fucking simplicity.
Michael Myers.
So yep. You're saying a lot of stuff. You're getting the cookie fight. Whoa, that's a cookie.
We're getting a solo cookie fight from Michael Myers. Thank you for that, Michael Myers.
I think he just like spilled the jar or something.
I'm gonna round
climbed
up.
up on a chair on his tiptoes. It was on the top of the fridge. He barely got his fingers on it.
That's a cookie blitzkrieg.
I'm gonna round up and play the phone, which is. Let me round.
Wait,
guys, you won't hear this, but
are there other channels that do these kind of conversations?
I haven't come across this.
No, really.
Yeah, let me play a phone real quick. You guys won't hear it. It's pretty short.
That's fine.
Except for it's not working. Why is it not working?
Yeah, I don't think so, Yoda. I mean, not.
All right, never mind.
There is.
I have a suggestion. I have a suggestion, G. Ross. I don't know how you feel about it.
Yep.
But I have a suggestion. I remember somebody saying, "Hey, Black Yoda, this is your show," and I had to correct him, and I was like, "No, this isn't my show. It's G. Ross's show."
Right.
I would like for Duppy and P. Thaggy to be panelists. The four of us together is awesome. And I would love to maintain that awesomeness. Can we do that?
I'm in.
We can try. I don't know if I can always deliver the entertainment factor.
No, you don't have to be. I mean, there's been a day or two that that I didn't participate. So, but can we try to make that the thing?
I'm in.
I'll make a deal with you, Yoda.
What's that?
I'll commit to this if you commit to watching my show on Sundays.
Ooh, snap.
Oh,
what time? What time? That is very fair. What time?
7 p.m.
That's Pacific.
What's avocado time?
Right now it is 11:32 my time. Duppy, what time is it at where you're at?
I'm same time zone as you. It looks like.
Oh, so it'd be 8 for you, I guess. Like it'd be 8.
Yeah, it'd be 8 o'clock Sunday night for you.
So
I will do that.
Let me squeeze this in.
Damn it, open up your calls because I might want to participate with what you talk about. Because you go deep. You go really fucking deep, bro.
It's not a call-in show. It's mostly question and answer.
Yeah,
from the chat.
We read from the chat.
From the chat. Yeah.
Michael Myers, after gifting 7 cookies, which thank you for that, Michael Myers, says God's wrath is coming soon. The demons are getting out of hand.
Hey, can I tell you guys a story real quick?
Michael Myers would know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Let me tell you a story And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I was just talking about this right before I got censored off of Facebook. So I have a truther friend that was talking about how the light in us makes demons upset and it bothers the demons in other people, right?
I have heard that. Yeah.
So about a year ago, like where I live, there's a strip club literally like a quarter mile down the street from where I live. I just got finished podcasting. It's late. I've been drinking. I was bored. I didn't have nobody to talk to, but I had all this energy in me. And I was just like, fuck, I just want to fucking hang out, talk, and just whatever the fuck, right? And I remembered, oh, wow, there's a strip club down the street. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. So I jump in my BMW, go to the strip club, fucking, I walk in, I pay my entry fee, I go, and I did when I paid the entry fee, I didn't say anything. She was just like, hey, it's 10 or 20 bucks, something like that, right? And I pay it. Didn't say shit. I walk straight to the bar. I have not said a word, right? And when I get to the bar, the lady was like, what would you like? Hey, let me just get a Michelob Ultra. That's all I said.
Nice low
She
carb.
comes back with the beer. She starts cussing me the fuck out. Like full wrath. And I turned around and I was just like, is she talking to somebody behind me? Like literally, like I turned around and I was like, you can't be talking to me. Like, so there's nobody behind me. And I look back at her and she's just in full blast, just cussing me out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I take a step back and I was just like, okay, that's not normal. So I go back to the front door where the chick that took my cash to get in and the bouncer is right there. I was like, hey, yo, why is your bartender chick cussing me the fuck out? Like, I just walked in this motherfucker. Like literally, like this is like in a minute
Mm-hmm.
or two at the most. You know what I mean? Like I walked in, paid my shit, ordered the beer, get the beer. It had to be like, a minute or two, right? So as I'm asking the chick and the bouncer why she cussing me out, the bartender comes around and she's still cussing me the fuck out. Now the three of us are looking at her like, because at this point she's not even making sense. She's just throwing all kinds of shit in the cussing out mode, right? And there's a reason why I'm bringing this up. So at this point, the bouncer asked me to step outside. Him and I are talking, and he was like, "Look, I can't let you in. You got to go, or whatever." And I'm like, "Whatever, fucking, I leave. I come back home." So when I see posts like "Your light bothers the demons in them,"
Mm-hmm.
it makes me think. Like, and keep in mind, I'm partly empath.
Right.
I'm not perfect with it. It happens when it happens. Like, I can't explain it. But there is a light in me, right? It makes me think that when you walk into situations like that, there are so many demons in the room. They see you for what you are. They see the light in you. And I really want y'all to think about this before y'all respond. So I naively walked into this fucking club. Hey, let me just go look at some titties and have a little bit of fun, I naively walked into this club and it pissed off every demon in that motherfucker.
Can you tell us a little more what exactly she said? Like, what was her beef?
Huh?
What was her?
Can you tell us some of the things that she had denounced you for, or lambasted, or espoused about
I
you?
don't remember. She was just as soon as I ordered the beer, she brought it back and she just started cussing me out like loud, like loud cussing.
Did she say
It wasn't even-
anything besides motherfucker? Like, did she say you owe me some money or
No,
you're ugly or whatever?
I swear
There
to
could
God, I
be.
don't remember any specifics about like what she was because none of it made any sense.
Right.
Well, here's the thing.
I remember that much. None of it made any sense.
Right.
It was
I don't
almost
have-
like she took out like rage from like first grade to like today.
Right. So it was
Against me.
frothing at the mouth. Pithagi?
Yeah.
Okay, let me set it up. If you don't remember what she said, and this is gonna sound a little bit cruel, but really, in reality, based on the testimony, we have no idea whether she cursed you out because she saw your light and she's a demon or demon possessed, or rather that you got blackout drunk and you went in there and caused a scene and she was talking about that, and that's why you don't remember.
I am look, trust me when I say
How
this.
do we know which one was true? How do we know what
I will say this. Sometimes Black
You said
Yoda
it's
can
only a
hold his
quarter mile
liquor.
from your house.
Listen. I only
It
talk about
probably
what I
wasn't
know.
your first time in there.
Listen, I only talk about what I know. I'm asking you to trust me with what I'm saying. Like, this was truly weird to me. Like, I literally just had walked in, ordered a beer, and she just started going off at the mouth.
It's probably a good thing you didn't drink that beer. She probably spit in it.
Probably, right? But what I'm saying is like, the more we, and this is a further point that I wanted to get to, the more that we go into the timeline that we're on,
Mm-hmm.
the more we're leveling up. And the light that exposes these demons is growing brighter. And we're getting to a point where their demise is very close.
Question.
I see it differently. Oh, go ahead.
No, I want to hear Pithagi.
No,
but then
use your words. I want to.
Yeah.
This is the reason why I brought it up, because I want to hear you guys' opinion on what I'm saying.
I think
based off of me saying this is a real thing, use your words on that. Don't try to describe it as something else, because I know what it was.
that's you're
Well,
containing
Please keep
the answer.
conversation in the context of in which I'm trying to
Wait,
describe.
something a minute ago triggered Pithagi to have a thought. Can we hear what that was?
Well, so you said, I want to tell you a story, and then you told your story, and you said that you believe that demons are unnerved or annoyed by your inner light, and then so it seems like that was the conclusion that you had drawn, and now you're
There's
asking
no
us
other way
for-
to explain it.
Well, there is. I'm going to explain it. So now
Go
you're
ahead.
asking us for our input. I think that you're seeing what you want to see. You're interpreting it how you want to interpret
There
it.
you go.
And I'll tell you why. Because you said a moment ago, you brought up a topic and you just quickly abandoned it and went on to something else. You said, aren't there many examples of the Old Testament sort of foreshadowing the coming of Christ? And I'm like, no, I don't see it that way. And I think the Old Testament God is very different from the New Testament God. So, I have some pretty strong views on this, but for people who do see a presaging or a foreshadowing of Christ in the Old Testament, it's again just an example of people seeing what they want to see. And when you walked into that bar and thought that you were some higher spiritual being that pissed off all the serpents in the room,
Listen. When I walked into that bar,
there
I
you
wasn't
go.
thinking that I was higher than anybody else. All I wanted to do was look at some titties, have a beer, and enjoy some company. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
That's
But I can't-
all I wanted to do. But as soon as I got to the bar, I hadn't even. All I said was, "Yeah, let me get a Michelob Ultra." That's all I said.
Okay. So
You
did
mispronounced
get what I said?
ultra.
Oh.
You're not listening.
No, I am.
No, here.
Literally, a demon jumped out this bitch, And it wasn't
No.
even really her talking.
We don't know that.
It was,
We
it
don't
was,
know that.
Yeah, but
We
she
don't know
might have
that.
freaked out a bit. That's possible, right,
you're
Pythaggy?
not, oh my
No, but
God.
look,
I thought I could
but
bring this up and have a decent conversation about it, but
you
Pete
can.
Thaggy, you're wrong. You're taking it in a way different
No.
direction.
Well, Black
I'm
Yoda,
just seeing it from a different. I'm seeing it a different way. You're telling me before you even get my input, you're telling me there's no other way to see it. You're insisting there's no other way to see it, and after you say there's no other way to see it, now how do you see it?
What I'm insisting on is
What kind
I
of
was
question
in
is
this
that?
scenario. I know what I saw. I know what I saw. I know what I witnessed. I know what I felt.
I know. We talked about this
And
last
the
week.
empath in me explained it to me. Me and the bouncer went outside afterwards, right?
Yeah.
And when I left, that's when I started realizing like what I felt about the moment and the empath started kicking in. There was a God lesson in that.
Yeah.
That's
But we
the
talked
bigger
about this
point.
last week.
That's the
When you
bigger point that
feel
I want to bring up. The,
strongly, that doesn't mean that you're right. It doesn't mean that it's true.
Will
It just
you
means
listen to what I'm saying? That
I know
when I
you
was
would.
leaving, there was a God lesson in that, and that was him telling me that I wanted you to experience this because these motherfuckers are real. At this point, when this happened, all right, I didn't realize the level in which demons are real. This was a while ago, right? I didn't know.
All I'm
That was
saying is
God's way of showing me that demons are in people. Not people don't people can be people, but sometimes the demons can override the person.
That's a reasonable
Maybe I'm not
model.
explaining this right.
No, I hear
all
you.
I'm saying is your story doesn't prove that she was a demon
Oh my
or had
God.
a demon in her.
Okay.
That's all I'm
I'll
saying.
stop. I'll stop. Fuck it.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you choose to see it that way, go ahead. I'm not
Could
convinced.
could there be such things as demons? Is that reasonable?
Yes.
You mean like the Nephilim? Because it tells us in the Bible the Nephilim are dead spirits, dead existence because of the fallen,
Mm-hmm.
breeding with God's creation.
Right. Half
They're
breeds.
still running amok. The spirits are out there. That's how they participate with people through the drugs, through the alcohol, through all of that shit, because you crash their conscience and the demon can take over, right? As soon as I walked in that motherfucker, this bitch started cussing me out. I can't say it any different than that. Like I literally, all I said was, "Yeah, let me get a Michelob Ultra." That's all.
I'm changing it in my mind. Give me a Michelob Ultra, bitch. Just kidding.
Wow,
I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding, Black Yoda. Pythaggy, do you remember what you had that was slightly like 2 beats
Now
ago?
I still mean what I meant about Pete Thaggy and Duppy being participants on the panel. Pete Thaggy, I actually enjoy the fact that you give me a run for my money.
I'm just on the other side
No,
of
I
it.
get it. I get it. It doesn't bother me. If anything, I appreciate it because a lot of people don't. Does it irritate me a little bit?
Probably.
But I appreciate it because at least you have the balls. If you can have the balls to like talk to me like that, that means you're barking at the system in your personal time. Like when you see things that are wrong in your neighborhood and everything else, if you can have the balls to talk to me like that, then goddamn it, I want to live in your neighborhood because you're gonna be barking the same fucking
Keep
way.
it straight.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, yeah. Oh, dude, I love you, bro. I love you.
Well, yeah, we're gonna get there together. All right. So G Ross, what were you asking?
I feel like you had a not tangent, but a springboard a couple beats ago, if you remember it.
I mean, there's Black Yoda is providing us so many springboards. He wanted to talk about, how quickly the humanity lost their connection with the God Most High. We talked about, um, whether there was CIA in the fucking foxhole. We
Mm-hmm.
talked about, what was the other thing?
Yeah, I have a tendency of bringing up all kinds of shit.
Yeah, we didn't seem to really touch or finish any topic.
Well, let's get. Hey, I tell you what. Let's get back to the Bible topic. How did Noah's grandchildren fall off?
I can't figure that one
Because
out.
when it comes to Nimrod and
Oh,
Christmas,
that was the other topic. Oh yeah, I got a springboard. That was the other topic. So you said, Yoda, you said that you could see your way to there being more than one Noah. There could have been one story, but many Noahs,
yeah,
right?
I did say
Okay.
it.
All right, so that's a possible explanation for why there were so many freaking people. But then you have to ask yourself, was it the same God, the one who instructed each one of these
Wait,
Noahs?
let him
What do you
finish.
mean? Was it the same God?
Let him finish.
There's only one God. There's only one story, and the Bible is
Mm,
telling us a story, but we're not thinking outside of the box. Is my only point.
well, we're speculating. We're kind of sort of working through the hypothesis. Hold on, is
Good.
this on?
The
It's
floor
on.
is
All right,
Yeah,
yours.
we
so
hear you.
We can hear you.
We
can you hear me
got
now?
you. Yes,
No,
we heard
we've
you.
been
got it.
hearing you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh,
We
I
never
was switching
lost you.
earbuds. Oh, but
We
there's a
got
lot
you.
of static on the line. All right, so no, I agree. Like, so we know that there was more than one Noah. Here's the problem. Uh, the stories that come from other traditions, like the Sumerians have a story. I think it was like maybe it was Gilgamesh. I don't know that name. Just Duffy would probably know better. The legend of, but the Greeks have a story. The Egyptians have a story that have to do with like theirs was the Egyptian story is way more cutthroat. It's like there was a woman and a man nailed into their coffins, and they sort of floated in their coffins for
Oh,
eons, and then those coffins came to rest. I'm like, damn, they didn't even have livestock, they didn't have food, they didn't even have company. That's pretty cutthroat. But you have all these flood stories. The Native Americans have flood stories, right?
mm-hmm.
So so we know that there could be more than one Noah, but you have to put yourself in those people's shoes. Was it the same God Most High who instructed and delivered each one of them? Or how do we make sense of many Noahs? And did they all happen in the same
That's the
time? Because
reason. That's the reason why I said that our Bible follows that particular Noah because of his lineage to get to Christ, Yahshua, right? That's
Yes.
why I brought that up.
Right.
I brought it
I know,
up
but
because I wanted us to have a debate about it. I'm not perfect.
well,
I'm trying to figure this shit out like everybody else,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I see the
yeah,
angel numbers, and you tried to tell me about angel numbers, right? But I see
Yes.
them 7, 8, 9, 10 times a day. It's ridiculous at this point.
I
To the
know,
point
but
where I take screenshots of it. Dude, I could be playing a game. I could be
no, I
just
don't.
doing.
I don't
Trips.
disbelieve you. Look, I don't disbelieve you. I see them too.
Trips.
My my only point was just because something is compelling and hits you on a gut level or spiritual doesn't mean that that's what's actually happening. It doesn't mean that this is a God moment or whatever, however you described it.
Well,
There's
I feel different than you.
there's a
I'm a claimant. I'm claiming it.
there's
I
a
am.
beautiful
Look. This is Black Yoda professing my claim on the numbers.
so
Okay.
there's a
Because
solution to
they
both.
show it to me. Why they show it to me so much, I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I'm claiming it. Fuck it.
There's
I'm
a
claiming.
there's a border on non-falsifiable solution of both that's not relativism, which is Donald Hoffmanism. Just going to throw it out there. TikTok says Black Yoda is right. TikTok's in the house. Ankavanka.
Wait, you on TikTok right now?
Jeanette Booth.
Wait, you on TikTok?
He's on.
Not.
I don't do
not the
TikTok
app.
because I know.
Not
Oh,
the
I'm
app.
sorry.
He's talking, he's
I'm
talking
sorry,
about
Duffy.
the
Sorry.
Go ahead,
podcaster.
go ahead.
TikToks from the swamp. You know him from the Beautiful Foxhole channel.
Duffy was trying to say something.
Oh,
and
sorry. My bad.
He stopped.
I was just saying that you got it mixed up with the Chinese app. It's,
Right.
it's a streamer.
Right. Sorry. TikToks. Talks.
Oh, I think
Shep.
I think Yoda's not watching the chat. He's in the garage. He's not watching.
With a
I
phone.
can't see the chat. I can't.
We got
Dude,
you.
I tell everybody every time I do an episode, I can't see the chat. I'm
The
on my
crocodile-
phone.
Yeah.
I'm not on a laptop.
The alligator
And
himself.
granted, I got one, but because I smoke, when I do the chat,
Yeah.
you know, I have some beers. I was smoking a cigarette. Like, hey, look, the cigarette, right? Fucking
Shepherding.
no, I'm not inside.
You're in the garage. Shepherding
Yeah.
shepherd in the house. So when I said TikToks, I meant TICKTALKS. The alligator.
Oh, you know what?
I think that's
People,
his icon.
if you don't know what it's like using Foxhole on your phone, I don't know how to explain it to you.
It's
But
small.
it's way different than
Not the
using
app.
like a laptop.
It is
Because
Right.
I can,
for sure.
when I use my laptop, it's wide open. I can see everything. You know what I mean? Like everything. But
Yeah,
it's
on my
ways.
phone, it's a potato. Sometimes it doesn't even load. Sometimes it doesn't even come
Right.
up.
The new potato phone.
Well, I got used to using because of Brad and Craig. I got used to using my phone like when I went live on Friday nights and shit.
Mhm.
But I got used to it, and because I like to drink my beers and smoke a cigarette. Oh, it pisses my neighbors off because I get loud sometimes. You know what I mean? I get animated. You know, want to talk shit. But it's the thing. So let me bring what I just said back into our previous conversation. I grow a lot of plants. And I have so many plants surrounding my front gate. You can't even get to my front door without going through that gate. And you still gotta walk past my plants. Dude, that's God energy right there. You can't even get through this motherfucker to even get to my front door without passing the God energy.
It's a
I'll leave that
shield.
one at that. I'll leave that. See, we ain't even got
I
to
have
that point yet. We're still talking about Noah and shit.
Yeah.
But we ain't even got to that yet.
I have some points. I have some points that we can get us back on topic. Just based on my research of this section here, I'm going to throw out a couple points, and you guys tell me which one you want to chew on. So, we talked about the whole age thing. Like, did age work differently back then, such that they could be 600, 700, 800 years old, but really only be 70 or 80 in our modern calculation? We talked about that. Also, what Black Yoda brought up moments ago about the Nephilim. It said that the Nephilim were on the earth in those days and immediately after. What does that mean? What does that mean? And then you have the whole thing about Noah's junk and what did Ham see? You got 3 topics right there. Which one you guys want to chew on?
Oh.
Wait, you know what? I wanted to ask you about that too. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry to butt in. I wanted to ask you about that too. Noah's son saw his junk It was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And
What
we're
did he
talking
see?
about a guy that.
Oh, Duppy says not
Wait, hold
Noah's
on,
junk.
hold on.
Not
Oh my
Noah's
god,
junk.
we're talking about a guy that salvaged the planet, right?
Right.
What in the fuck was it about his junk that
Well,
made his son like? What in the hell is that? Because that
yeah.
ain't the junk that I got. You know what I mean? Like,
I think he had 3 balls. I think he had 3 balls.
no, it had to be more than that. It had to be
Two
a lot
beans.
more than that.
Well, here's the reason why I say that, though. I'm kidding, but I'm not, because when you look at like the skeleton of giants that are being hidden from us by the Smithsonian.
No. You're talking about the Nephilim at that point. But what I'm saying
Well, no, he
is,
said, I think you're talking about the same. Could Noah have
Oh,
been
whoops.
super
No,
large?
yeah, you're right. I jumped the gun.
Yep.
I assumed, yeah, I made a little leap there. Black Yoda's right. So Black Yoda, I personally think that Noah was a giant.
that
So
would
I was going,
that would make him part of the Nephilim.
no, it
Or
wouldn't. No,
God
he
no,
cursed the Nephilim.
no,
no.
he might have. People might have just grown taller when they were
The
900
whole
years
reason
old.
for the flood was because of the Nephilim.
No, but
Let's
Yoda
not
could.
get it twisted, people.
No. Is it
No, it
possible?
wasn't. It wasn't because of
Please,
the Nephilim.
please elaborate.
Yeah.
It was.
So,
It,
so,
go
so
ahead.
I went through it. I don't have time to rehearse the whole thing right now, but there's a popular notion that the sons of Adam, starting with Adam, were giants, and it ends somewhere around Noah, and that's where it gets foggy. We don't really know what changes there. However,
Dude, I remember walking into the bathroom and my father was in there taking a piss. I didn't know he was in there. Right? And I'm looking at the toilet because that's my aim. I gotta take a piss.
uh,
And then I look up and I realize D's standing right there, and him and I are just looking at each other. And I look down, I saw his junk, right? And I looked back up at him, and I was like, I didn't know you were in here. But I said it in my head. I didn't say it out loud. I just turned around and walked out.
uh,
But the
okay,
way
well,
I remember that was not the way that shit was referenced in the Bible. So what the fuck was wrong with his shit?
He probably had a
maybe.
mighty peen.
Oh well, so I'm going based off of a few other things,
Yep.
and we talked about it. The taking 2 sons to clothe him or cover him. Like the guy would have had to have been a significantly bigger stature if it really took 2 grown men
Bigger
who were
stature,
over
really? That's where you're going with
No,
it.
even his whole build.
Huh? Can I just stay on one point? Can I get to the end? So we'll take questions at the end. So I'm just saying there's a few references in the Bible that would suggest, and if you add in the thing Duppy was asking about, like how could people live longer lives back then, there's a few clues that would suggest that the stature of man, the sons of Adam, were
Keep in mind,
substantially larger
Wait,
than.
let me finish.
Oh, there we go. There, never mind. Never mind. I'm done.
No,
All right.
Kobe,
no.
I didn't even have a
I
point.
want you. I
I
want you
didn't
to
even.
go
I
ahead.
didn't even have a
But
Black Yoda. I didn't even have a point. I was just rambling. I don't even have a point.
no. Keep in mind, he was scared and thrown back. Like, what the fuck
No, he
is
just
that?
tittered. I think he just laughed.
But keep that in mind in your theory, please,
Uh,
please. As you explain your theory, that's all I'm saying. Keep that in mind. He was thrown back and was like, "What the fuck is that?" And it's relevant because Noah is relevant in the story of what transpired after the flood.
Uh-huh.
Keep all of that in mind as you explain your theory. Thrown back and like, what the fuck?
All
I
right.
thought FEMA came in after the flood and messed it up worse.
Actually,
FEMA camps.
that's
FEMA
cute.
camps.
That's cute. That's cute.
All right. Where was I? No. So I wanted. All right. I lost my rhythm. I lost my spot.
Well, if you had a point, you wouldn't have lost it.
All right. So let me just pick up with your assumption. The flood was not because of the Nephilim.
The
That's not
flood
what the
wasn't
Bible
because of
says.
what?
The
The
half
Nephilim.
breeds.
No, I believe the flood was because of them. It tells
In
us
part.
the flood was because of them.
And the bad
No.
behavior.
Is that true though?
It says civilization was unruly and out of control and misbehaving
So
quite
okay,
bad.
so you have to consider the sons of Adam. We're not just talking about Nephilim. If you say civilization,
Mhm.
we're not just talking about the Nephilim,
Right.
or the Nephilim, however you want to pronounce it.
Right.
That's an assumption on your part. That's not what the Bible says.
Wait. Say that again. What'd you say?
You cannot suppose that the reason for the flood was only because of the Nephilim and their behavior. It was because of all of mankind, not just the Nephilim.
It says they always think
No.
super dark thoughts in
It
their
says
heart.
it was their
Hold on.
influence on mankind.
Black Yoda. There is one portion of the text that very clearly says every thought they have that they think of doing, every part of their heart is just dark, dark, dark. It just says that.
Also,
But it pissed
when
God off that we followed that influence.
Right.
Like we follow
Yeah.
entertainment and music and TV. Same thing.
Right, but what's going to break Yahweh's heart more? The fact that the Nephilim are buttheads or that we follow the Nephilim?
What's gonna break his heart is us denying him.
Right. So we're saying the same thing, kind of.
all right, well, yeah, well, so
More or
in
less.
support
Yeah.
in support of my take on it, a little bit later when God decides to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, that has nothing to do with Nephilim. He's like, look, I'm going to destroy these cities because they're fucking
Wait.
wicked and they're pissing me off.
Right, let him finish.
Let me stop y'all right here. I
Go ahead.
something told me to play this link again. I've done it with you already, G Ross, but I have to back out of Jitsi, close the whole shit down. From my point,
Is it
throw the
staticky?
link. Wait. Throw the Jitsi link back out there as I look up a YouTube link
I'll
that
find it for you.
explains God.
How about I just find it for you?
So do that. I will jump back in, but I have to go get this link. I have to go. God acts literally. I don't know how to explain it, but I got to get this link. All right.
Got it. Duppy. I'm reading Impeach 'em all.
Wait, why do I still hear you?
I don't know, because you still here.
Because you didn't leave. Everything's good.
You're still here, Black Yoda.
Well, I thought I left. Shit. Y'all, hold on. I gotta find the folder I put that in.
All right, so I mean, I don't think that's the biggest point.
Right.
This is one
As
of
far
my
as as far as who's to blame for the destruction of all mankind and God's deep regret. Never mind the whole idea of being omniscient. Like, why would you? Okay, I'm only going to touch on it, but actually, no, I'm not, because it's going to start a whole big fucking thing. So let's stay on topic.
Oh, we're about to stay on topic. Wait till I send you this link.
Oh, I want to say one other little thing that jumps out at me. When at some point during this flood story, God says, in Genesis 6, God says that his quote, his spirit will not contend with human beings forever
Right.
because they are flesh, and therefore their life shall be capped at 120 years.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that does not actually hold true because Noah's sons, because even later, 1,000 years later, when you get to the time of Abraham, he lived to be 175. Ishmael lived to be 137. So even after 1,000 years, people were not dying at 120.
Right. But
So how could you misquote God, or how could God say something that he had no intention of following through on?
they start going down after
G-Ross,
the
you,
flood.
you you should have this link at point.
The what?
You should
Oh.
have this link at this point.
Where did you send it to me?
I sent it to you as a text.
Oh, that's going to be very hard to get over here. Where's my phone?
So when I was looking up that link, were y'all able to hear like the commercial that came up and all that shit? Because if that's the case, then I could just play it the way I did it.
No, I couldn't hear it.
Answer the question.
I
Did you
could
hear
not
the
hear it.
commercial when I brought it up?
No, I could not.
Okay.
I have the phone.
And I want to play this for Pete Aggie because he wants to believe in God. He just doesn't know how.
I don't know that
And
I've ever asked Pythaggy his belief structure.
no. This is what I feel. For me, Pete Aggie, I will be very honest with you. I was raised in the church and I didn't believe it. And it wasn't until I got older that I saw how much evil was actually real in this world that convinced me about the devil, Satan, Lucifer.
Mm-hmm.
That's how
Old
I got connected to
Scratch.
God. I don't advise you to go down that road, but that's how I got connected to God. That's how I realized if this is real, then God has to be real. And it's that simple. Uh, Outside of that, I don't know what else to tell you.
Are you going to play something?
I
No,
forwarded
no,
it
we're
to my
trying to.
email.
We're trying to. But this is a YouTube video that I
I don't know how you
love
guys are
to.
going to see it.
Well, look, Black Yoda, I think we have a lot in common, actually. So I also was raised going to
That's
church.
why I can see you family, bro. I want you to participate with our Wednesday nights.
Yeah, but so I think I might have had it worse. I had to go to church twice on Sundays. We were Calvinists.
Ooh, I love that.
We were ultra
Calvin for the
conservative.
win.
We were ultra conservative, and they were paying for my education. So I think, as an adult looking back, I think we went to the night service because everyone else was chipping in for our education. It was really expensive. My family had 5 kids, and we all went to private school. So that kind of makes more sense. But that's what conservatives do. They take care of their community, but they are ultra fundamentalist. And you're right. For a long time, I didn't believe it either, and I never made profession of faith. I said, you can't compel me out of tradition to profess something that I don't believe, But in the end, without getting too theological, I'll keep it real simple. I believe in a creator, but I don't necessarily believe that the God of the Old Testament is the creator of the universe. He may have created mankind in his image, like a genetic experiment, but I don't think he's the same God that created the entire universe.
Let me reiterate on what you just said. I keep a And I want to use these words properly. I understand what you're about to say. I understand the truths that I've learned. And what I want people to understand is I keep my mind open for change. When I learned about flat Earth, I, I thought that was so ridiculous, right? But it tells you in Genesis, God separated the waters and created the firmament, right? It tells you right out the gate what to know. Not what to believe, but what to know.
Oh,
And
I guess you're reminding me.
no. Stop. Please stop. Please stop. In my life experience, I've gone through so many changes of how to understand. There's a helicopter flying over. I don't know if y'all can hear it.
It's a
But
black helicopter. It's coming to get you.
Give it a minute. Give it a minute. Can y'all hear that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's louder than the old crickets of summer.
All I'm saying is I've gotten to a point where I can hear and see certain messages, right? And there's things about my life that I didn't understand. Why is this, or why is that? And I could literally hear something in my head leading me in a direction. And maybe I should talk about that more. Liana, even though she pissed me off, Liana told it to me best. Talk to people like they don't know what you're trying to say. That might have been the best thing she ever said to me. Because I assume people understand, because I know, right? That's not the case.
I understand the sentiment. I understand that people believe in things that they can't see. I understand that people believe that they're empaths, as you've said. Those things are pretty clear to me. I'm not lost when you say those things. But I disagree. I simply disagree.
Impeach 'em all, says in the chat.
So
Yep.
what is it that you disagree with? In your heart, right? In your thoughts, are you trying to debunk the Bible or believe in the Bible?
I don't think that. So I think it's.
No, be honest.
Let him finish.
I can't even remember when I'm dishonest. I'm always going to tell you what I think.
Tell me now. Are you trying to debunk the Bible or just believe? There's only one way to answer that.
No. Your question is unfair. It's not a false.
No, it's not unfair. Are you trying to debunk the Bible or believe in the Bible?
Black Yoda, let me jump in there.
When are you gonna stop abusing your roommate? Tell me exactly when, the day and the time.
Stop abusing what?
Stop abusing your roommate.
When
are you going to do it? No, when? My question is when.
Stop abusing.
There's only one answer. There's only one answer. It's a day. It's a day on the calendar.
Stop abusing what?
So when did you stop beating your wife? So let me. He's breaking down the false dichotomy. Black Yoda, let me take us back. When you give the choice between you're either debunking or believing the Bible, I love the law of the excluded middle. I love creating dichotomies, but we got to be careful. If you're going to use the law of the excluded middle, which is a very powerful razor, you got to be very careful. You can only say A and not A are mutually exclusive. You can't jump to a false dichotomy. What I mean by that is this. You could ask, are you trying to debunk the Bible? Yes or no. And you can ask, do you believe the Bible? Yes or no. But until you've actually explored the entire map, we don't know that we have agreement that those are the only two options. Is that fair?
No, that's fair. That is very fair. And the reason why I asked Pete Thaggy to participate in future episodes is because of these kind of debates. There's not many people doing what we're doing.
Right.
And I want more of this with more people.
Yeah.
The reason
you asked.
wait, hold on. I'm about to
let Pete Thaggy
explain
talk.
something to you.
I'll keep holding. I'll keep holding. By the way.
No. Wait. Just give me a moment. I'm about to explain something to people that you might not understand. I've died twice. And the first time, it felt like I didn't die. It felt like I just woke up and I was okay. But the second time I died, I knew something was wrong. So when they talk about things like Mandela effect and shit like that, all right? When they talk about multiverse and shit like that, there's something to it. I don't know how to explain it. But what I can say is I've died twice. And I remember everything about this multiverse versus that multiverse.
Mm-hmm. Can I respond?
Are you ready for those conversations?
No, I'm not. Can I respond?
Please.
You sound like a man who's very in touch with his feelings.
Wait, I sound like what?
Okay, I'll slow it down.
No, I really didn't hear
His phone's real quiet, Pete Thaggy.
Oh, my phone is quiet?
No, his speaker on his phone, I think, for this app.
Oh. I said, you sound like a man who is really in touch with his feelings.
Agreed.
And therefore, I think you are confusing those feelings with like truth and divine intervention. Because you just told us that you literally died twice. Like somehow you came back. Jesus came back once. You came back twice. You literally died. You literally died. Okay.
Well, some people have been clinically dead and come back, right?
Wait, Pete Thaggy, you really just changed what I said.
No, you said you died twice, Yoda.
I want to
what you said.
Listen. I didn't say anything about Jesus. All I said was if somehow I died and went to a different parallel universe that is not mine, but it was the closest one connected to it.
I'm saying that you.
No, I'm not done. And I died again in a car.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
And I remember it. And when people talk about Mandela effect, it's the differences between like this universe and that universe and the other universe. I've literally done it twice. For whatever reason, I remember that shit, and I'm not supposed to. That is the reason why the system has a problem. I'm trying to tell you, I remember it. Plain and simple. I remember it.
Duppy, you gotta get in here.
Sorry, Duppy.
Look. Let's start a different conversation.
No, let's get somewhere. Let's finish one. Let's finish one. Let's finish a conversation.
Those.
Why do we keep leapfrogging around? Why can't we finish a conversation?
Wait, hold on. Oh, no, see, why do I remember that? Why? You explain it to me.
Strongly. Because you felt it strongly.
I can bring all kind of homework to the table, but why do I remember that?
Because you felt it so strongly.
But we can take it as a...
No, use your words. Use your words. Why do I remember...
He's using only words.
The difference is between that parallel, this parallel, and the one I'm in now.
So...
You know, I do the same thing. I do the same thing when I do the same thing when I take psychotropic drugs.
Tasty. So, to me, when I hear...
You ain't even thinking about the depth of what I'm talking about.
Oh, no, I got it.
No, there's depth.
In each of those parallels, they don't have me anymore. They think I'm dead and gone. Think about it like that. My son in each of one of those episodes thinks I'm dead and gone. But I'm here in this one. Think about it.
So...
You're not thinking.
So I'm 100%.
Please think about what I'm saying.
It sounds like you're describing a past life regression.
Fucking bullshit perspective, but you're not even thinking the depth in which I'm like using my words.
No. You're getting stuck again. You're not even letting me finish, and you're getting louder and louder. So let me finish. It sounds like you're describing a past life regression. Is that what you're describing?
Nope.
So who are these people that remember you dying, and how did you meet them?
No, he's deducing. So if I heard right, during the two death experiences, you went over to a parallel universe, and you saw that there was very similar worlds over there, and now you're here, and you're like, you're not there. Therefore, those two sets of people experience you being missing. I may be wrong.
You said if.
No, but
I did those things. Okay, what drug am I on? What drug am I on when I do this?
Who said you're on a drug?
How do you do that? How do you do that?
To you? Do I look drug to you? Honestly?
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yeah.
Pythaggy, who said you were on drugs?
You know what? Honestly, I've only had like 3 beers, and I've smoked like maybe 3 cigarettes. And you're asking me what drug I'm on? What I'm saying is
at the time that you had these profound experiences.
You can't deny the fact that I've experienced what I've experienced. I personally went through it, but this is something that you can't talk to people about because they don't understand physics. They don't understand math times 2 + 2.
Let me give you an example.
People only understand distraction. And so when you talk about something serious as God and His design, they don't even understand that.
Hold on. I want to make a distinction.
Hold on, because they don't even understand flat Earth.
You're getting like 90-10 here.
You can't understand the first thing past God separated the waters. It tells you in the fucking book.
Black Yoda, you seem to have a problem.
Stop.
You seem to have a problem with anyone disagreeing with you. It's like it's intolerable. It's insufferable for anyone to disagree with you.
No, you have no idea what I've gone through trying to understand this shit. But you have no idea.
I'm giving you every opportunity to explain it.
I actually mean fucking stop. Because you have no idea. I have went through so much trying to understand this shit.
I'm glad you're doing that, Black Yoda, because you're bringing back the elixir to the town, and that's good.
I think I have a parallel example that maybe will help.
Oh, that's funny. You want to mention a parallel? Please mention a parallel.
Can I say one thing before you butt in? Can I say one thing?
No. I think that's funny.
I want to get to a point. I
was talking about parallel universes, but you want to talk about a parallel on your verse. Right.
Fine.
Go ahead.
Let's
Go
call it-
ahead with your parallel.
Let's call it an example then. Fine. So sometimes your mind plays tricks on you. Sometimes you.
Really? I know what I know.
Wait, hold on,
Okay,
Black
never
Yoda. You're
mind.
getting like
Never mind.
90-10.
We're done.
What I went
We're
through,
done.
and
We're
you
done.
want
This,
to debate with
apparently,
me?
apparently,
what I
Black Yoda,
apparently-
you gotta.
what
Black
I
Yoda, you're taking
experienced,
90% of the oxygen.
and you want to bring theory into the fucking conversation.
Black
Theory.
Yoda, give him a minute.
Duffy, line judge.
15 yards, fourth down.
Giving him the business.
Oh, Lord.
Bring your theory. Fuck it. Bring it.
I want you to hit the mute button because I want to get through it. I want to get through the whole thing.
You don't need a mute button. I'm gonna listen. Look, I've been wanting to know what happened. I told you what
Okay.
happened to me and how I look at it. So if
I'm-
you have a
I'm-
theory, I want to hear it. Please bring your theory.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the comments in the chat. I'm just laughing.
Yeah, whatever. I
So-
don't care about that.
Here's the thing. Please don't think when I make this example, please don't think that I'm talking about you. I'm talking about all of us. Every human being on the planet Earth. Our minds sometimes play tricks on us. Sometimes we think we see something. What you may see someone approach you, but it was the shadow of something else.
Yeah,
You
let
know.
me stop you right there. Let me
Wait,
stop you right
Black
Oh,
Yoda, he barely got
oh,
started.
you're gonna stop me.
I got
Oh.
He
you.
barely
I
got
you.
started.
Big surprise.
Listen to this. I've been shot with a bullet through my body, and the doctors told me I should have died. But when I woke up, shit was fucking different. You're not listening. I have experienced different episodes of my life.
You're the one.
where-
I feel like you're the one who's not
fuck
listening.
you.
I really
Stop
feel like
talking.
you're not the one.
Hey,
You're
let's
not
not-
listening.
Black Yoda.
Listen, I have gone through different episodes in my life where I have gone through physical changes in different scenarios where I should have died. And when I wake up, hey, and the world is different.
I know, but I said 2 sentences and you got bored and wanted to
No,
make a different
you're not
point.
listening. What I'm saying is every
think you're just getting
time
bored.
I've died,
Could be.
and I'm trying to tell people this is how fucking, life works. It's a transition of energy through the multiverse. That's
But is
what
this
I
how-
agreed with you about. But you're not talking about that. You're talking about something
No.
different.
I'm trying to answer a question you posed to me a long time ago, but you won't stay on one subject. Is this how you act when you only had 3 beers?
No, what I act on is what I experienced. I am
I'm-
physically telling you that
I'm still trying to get my time back
Go
so
ahead,
I can
go ahead.
talk
Fuck it.
about the last
Please.
point.
all right,
I'm
go
still
ahead.
trying to talk about the last point. But after 2 sentences, you butted in because I don't know. You like to hear yourself speak, or you're not listening to me.
Really? That's what you think? I don't want to hear myself speak. I want to answer because it still bugs me out. I trust God.
All right.
That's
so
why I trust. That's the whole reason why I brought it up. Is because
if
I trust
if I
God.
could-
There
if I
has
could
to be a
continue-
God to
Here, let's see what. I think we got some
there has to be
Pythagi.
a system.
Yep.
There has to be a thing.
there
That's
has to
why
be
I
a
brought
mute-
it up.
There has to be a mute button. There has to be a mute.
Wow.
9dNation
How else am I
has
going
no
to get?
mute.
How else am I going to get to the end of my point? Like we're not even staying on one single
Go.
point because
I'm
it
not-
goes in a
I'm not gonna
million.
say
It
anything
goes in a
else.
million different directions.
I'm not going to say anything else. Go with your point.
All right. So I was trying to make a point, but maybe you got bored. So I'll try to make it real brief.
Oh, I got bored because I got shot.
You said you weren't going to say anything else.
No, but that was ridiculous. I got bored because I was shot. I was stabbed in the back.
No. You got bored from Pythagi talking 2 sentences. What's the point?
Go. Please go.
Okay. All I was going to say is, you asked me, like, basically, not these words, but this was your meaning. You said, if I experience something, can I be wrong about my experience? And I would say to that, no, you can't be wrong about how you felt, but you can be wrong about what you think you experienced. The feeling is always correct. I can't tell you that you felt like your feeling was wrong. I'm not going to tell you that. That doesn't, right? Obviously, you feel the way you do. And obviously, you're a man who's deeply in touch with his feelings. But I would suggest that what you thought you were experiencing, or what you thought you saw, or what you heard, those things can be mistaken.
You sound like indoctrination. You don't
I'm giving
sound
you,
like anything connected to God. You sound disconnected and different.
well,
And you
whatever.
want to like try to tell me I went through. Listen to what I'm saying. I went through what I went through, and you want to try to give me
No,
definitions of what that was versus my feelings and
So
the experience.
what I
No, no,
heard,
no,
no.
no, 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 no. Duppy, I want you to TP Thappy or whatever the fuck. I want you to explain to me.
3 beers in,
No, no,
3
no,
beers deep.
no, no. I want you to explain to me how did I feel and go through it versus your bullshit words. I'm not talking about bullshit definitions on what you think are words. And I'm an empath, which means I experience more. Like,
You're making less sense than Kanye right now.
fuck Kanye. I don't give a fuck. Use your words and definitions to explain how I felt and experienced it.
what I heard,
Go ahead.
Line
No, no,
judge,
no.
I
line
want to
judge,
jump
Stop.
in. I want to jump in
I
as
line
want
judge.
the,
to explain it.
well,
I
hang
want an
on.
umpire.
Let me
How
jump
did
in.
I go through it and experience it? I have the scars on my body that proves that I went through it.
Co-host for the second half of 9dNation. Let me jump in.
Explain the scars on my body.
So Black Yoda, you know you're co-host of the post-reading section
Yeah, I
of this
know.
show. So I just want to jump in and co-host with you for a second.
No, I hate it when people think that they know a thing and it's completely different, disconnected from God. And the reason why I stopped that, everything you're saying is only proving the devil. Everything
Legit.
about your
That's reasonable.
explanation is proving the devil.
I can see that line of logic personally, but what I thought I heard a minute ago was in this corner Black Yoda, in this corner Pete Thaggy on the screen. That's how it shows on my screen.
I'm
2
not
corners.
mad at Pete Thaggy. I love Pete Thaggy, but
I'm not
I
mad.
don't know. I can't.
No one's mad.
I just need a referee. That's all.
I think everyone agrees that there was a profound experience.
Mhm.
What there hasn't been yet is a
All right,
there's at least two interpretations, or there's an interpretation that hasn't been sold as to what the experience indicates or where it was from. So it's just a little bit of a hashing that out.
I know how this is going to sound to people, but I've died twice in this life, right? But I have memories of dying before. And I had that when I was a kid. Trying to explain that to people is not an easy thing to do. You grow up Christian and you grow up with the Bible and church this and church that. It added to why I'm trying to understand, like, who is God? What is it about? Why did this happen to me? And I'm trying to explain it. So when people try to dictate to me, oh, it's because of this and physics that and blah blah blah, fuck that. Right out of the gate, fuck that. You have no idea. Somehow there's different levels to this. And I don't know how it works, but I know what I remember.
I think everyone agrees that your experience is your experience.
Yeah, fuck it, let it be. I can only throw it out there, man. To the
Well,
ether.
you know that I've had, so best I've come up with is, because I'm operating from the following theory. Your experience is a true eyewitness report. And when I read the Bible, I get a slight indication that reincarnation is not the right answer. But I double checked and I don't see hardcore proof. But I'm not willing to overturn a boatload of my local. I'm an elder at a church, so I'm not going to completely embrace reincarnation. But I do think the timelines, or the one timeline, can mix. The Mandela effect is all but got to be dealt with, right? So there's something that you experience that causes you to jump through a couple of serialized different lifetimes or who knows what. That's the experience you experience. I don't know how to square it. I think Pythagi is looking into alternate explanations. I think that's legit. But yeah, you lived it. So no one's going to do it lightly, I don't think. I don't know. Pythagi, am I
Have you
in a
been
ballpark?
shot?
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair. Yeah.
Wait. Have any of you been shot?
No, I've never been shot.
Have
Not
any
to
of
my
you
recollection.
almost died from a bullet wound? Like literally everything changed after that. I should have died. The way I was shot, I should have died. But in all these different fucking timelines, look, I'm not drunk. I'm being very honest. I'm trying to tell y'all, somehow we shift through different, the close ones that are different to our timelines. So it doesn't make it seem obvious. Somehow we shift through these, and that's what makes the arguments, between couples and people that you're close to. And fuck, it blows my mind that with my name and the research that I do, you choose not to believe me. You should, as soon as I say a word, you should look it up. Jesus tried to say the same thing, and y'all still don't do it. That's the reason why I'm bringing it up. Not.
I think we're investigating.
I'm gonna stop.
I think we're investigating. That's a good time for me to mention.
I'm gonna stop because
That's
the
a good
last
time.
thing I want to do is compare myself to Jesus. But
Good
what I'm
catch.
saying is, what he tried to do is something that is on this level, and y'all still don't see it. I can't.
I'll tell you what I see. We all wanted to
If
get back
Jesus
on.
couldn't do
Wait,
it, how
let
can
Pythagi
Black
go.
Yoda do it?
Black Yoda, let Pythagi
Actually,
go.
that's the point I want to get to. If Jesus couldn't convince you 100, how can I
Black
convince you?
Yoda, you know that if somebody's got eyeballs and ears and a heartbeat, we don't know what Jesus has or hasn't convinced them of. Fair? Yeah? No? Did I go off the rails? I went off the rails. Sorry. Modem noises. This thing on?
Yeah, I hear you.
Test. Hey, we've gone a little bit over 2 hours. I'm going to have to start rounding us up just because of my own sleepy needs. I know it's short.
Okay,
I know. Go ahead.
Well, look, I just had one thought,
Please.
So we wanted to get back on topic earlier. I think all four of us did, right? And
Yes.
so then, do you remember when I suggested 3 different topics we could talk about? Did we talk about any one of them? No, we didn't. It turned into the Black Yoda show and how he got shot and came back to life 3 times, and I have the devil in me. It seems like Black Yoda does not want to study the Bible or be involved in a discussion group about the Bible. He just wants to talk about himself. It's a little bit annoying and distracting, and it's like a complete derailment, as someone said in the chat. It could be such a better show if we didn't have to like listen to Black Yoda pontificate every single week on his thoughts. And then if you if you dare to see it differently, he's going to cut you off and then tell you what you are. And good getting back to the topic.
Do you want to take that one, Black Yoda? I can. I love that you summed that up, Pete Aggie, and I can see a lot of perspective there.
Wait.
God, I was going to say something.
I have words for that.
I was going to say something. It was going to be good, and it slipped right out.
Wait. No.
We real quick, Black Yoda.
No.
Let me do it. I just got it right, slippery red in the side of my head. There is a way to get a little bit of back and forth with Black Yoda. I think I've demonstrated it. He and I have demonstrated it together. So I don't know that it's there can be discourse. There really can. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I think we have prior videos to show that. We just got to figure out the path. And I think what you put together just then was well put. And go ahead, Black Yoda.
Pete Thaggy, do you understand that I was before? Look up the definition of before.
Before Abraham was.
Before Foxhole app.
Before.
Who gives a shit? Are you about to go on some ego trip?
No. You said your words.
Who
Stay
gives
silent.
a shit, dude?
Please.
You said this before.
Please.
You always say this stuff. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
No,
Nobody cares
you
how
don't
far
care.
back you go.
You don't care.
Nobody cares.
Listen, I was before you,
a lot of
and I
people
would
don't
always say what is on my mind. I said it before the foxhole, and the foxhole became a thing. That's the only reason why
That
you're
doesn't make it right.
participating on it.
I
was right there at the forefront,
That doesn't make it right.
and you want to fight me as if I'm not talking truth? The things that I talk about are relevant.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
I talk about history. I talk about what we've been lied about. And if you don't want to agree with it, I could really give a fuck.
Hold on. Not everybody has to be monolithically. Yep.
I know what I talk about. And what really started this was an argument with God. No. What really started this is my argument with God.
Do you really think me, I, before you, me, I, are you being egoic right now? Me, I, this before you, me. Are you being egoic? Can you check yourself for a second? Does anyone care about Black Yoda's ego? Does anyone care? Does this explain why you can't stay on topic?
Your point is what?
You're having difficulty staying on one topic.
I was talking about the relevance of Noah, and y'all lost topic. It wasn't on me. I was talking about Noah's fucking
G-Ross, it was me.
grandchildren,
G-Ross, would you forgive me?
that's
Would you
on
forgive
me.
me for
How is
losing
that
my
on
faith?
me? I brought it up as a topic. How is that on me?
I love all the people
I
on
don't
this
know. Go
panel,
back and
so
watch
there's
the
no
show.
forgiving needed.
I watched the show when you're sober. I don't know. Figure it out.
You know what?
By the way, last week's show, I accidentally overwrote on Friday, but I did repost it. So if you're looking for it, it's back.
Oh, no.
When you go on Friday, like if you do a show on Wednesday, you do a show on Friday and you forget to post the next thing, it seems to overwrite it. So you have to post you have to post a few minutes before your show.
I still agree with P. Thaggy and W being panelists on our show.
If they're willing.
Even though me and P. Thaggy don't agree,
Hey,
I know what to expect. And
it adds flavor to the show.
Listen. At the same time, I welcome you, right? And that almost goes to the point to what you're trying to make. I'll try to help you close out the show, G-Bros, but I appreciate somebody like him being indifferent. That's the word I'm going to choose to use. Indifferent, right? P. Thaggy, stay 100. But you're wrong.
Okay.
And I would like to argue with you about that next Wednesday. But you're wrong.
Okay. To be continued.
To be continued.
Please.
So
Yep.
I want to steal from 412. He just closes out shows really good. Duppy, P-Thaggy, Black Yoda, what you guys do last words, if you have any. Duppy?
No, I'm done.
Okay. That could be Black Yoda's. Then P-Thaggy?
No, I feel like this thing's just going to continue.
Duppy?
Well, it started out with a pretty decent discussion. I came here to learn. You guys know the Bible better than I do. I use it in my research, so learning from you guys is valuable. But we need to keep the discussion civil and rational, and that's not happening. And Thaggy really likes to play devil's advocate, and that's a very valuable thing in a discussion.
I agree.
That needs to be recognized.
I agree. I'm not arguing that. I agree. Please go ahead.
So I think we can do better. Just keep that in mind. That's all I have to say.
Duppy, those are fantastic last words. I'll take the last. That puts a little bit of a challenge on me because G_Ross is the imprimatur over on top of this. Love to see Black Yoda's channel launch one day soon, just saying. But,
hey, before I close out, P. Thaggy, Duppy, I genuinely mean next week.
Okay.
Now, how I mean that is during this next 7 days, right? Learn what you learn. I'll learn what I learn. Everybody learn what they learn and bring it to the table. I'm not mad at P. Thaggy. I know we're going to have differences, right? But the overall picture is let's figure out the scripture, and that's the basis of this show.
So Black Yoda, I have a
I'm
question.
not perfect.
Something just popped in my head.
I can illustrate a point.
Yep.
Or Go ahead.
I have an idea that let's think about, and probably I should do a little taking responsibility for the channel a little bit, because this is growing into something. So in an effort to try
really
to,
is. It really is.
yeah.
Right?
Well, and Duppy kind of just really put together a good package there. So I think 412, if you ever see his show, is
No, I know Adam. I know Adam.
Yeah.
No, I know him.
he does
Adam's
kind of he sees people come off mute and then will call. So maybe I could perform that kind of a function. We'll try something like that next week is what I propose. And Black Yoda, I see you as the co-host of the second half of the Wednesday show. So think about that if you like it.
Hey, you know what? Before we close out,
Yep.
I really want people to understand that there have been numerous times in my life where I've died. And the similarities are so striking that you don't realize that it's different. But you really are in a different world. But you did die in that previous life. Your soul is just sent here.
I'm looking at
the next
Jitsi.
one.
Not to ignore
Maybe
you.
I'm not saying that right, but I've experienced that numerous times.
No, it's totally your experience, not even a question. I don't think I'm looking at Jitsi's controls. I think next week it's a little too school teachery to use the raised hand. We'll figure something out.
Next week.
All right. Maybe we'll do. I guess I could do the dreaded Zoom. Bleh, I hate Zoom. All right, we'll figure it out.
Wait, what's wrong with Jitsi?
Well, I think the best. I can't see when you here. If I mute myself and come off, do you guys see it? Let me just check. Oh yeah, you can see it. Yeah. So we'll do the 412 method next week. If I see you're off mute, I'll kind of poke you in there like the way he does. I'll try to mimic him. I think he's one of the best hosts that there is. So I'll do 412 style. It'll be great. All right, gentlemen. Well played.
All right. That was
All right.
fun.
Thanks,
Do it again.
guys.
All right, we'll do
Hang
something
on,
next
Pete.
week.
See y'all on Sunday.
Sunday,
Yeah,
Duppy
Sunday.
Files. Don't forget. Yes, and I'm going to do all that promo here in a second, Duppy. But that's a good reminder.
Okay.
Nice. Duppy Files on Sunday on Sloan TV and G Ross.
And I
See
have
you all.
no idea what I'm going to show, if anything. So it might
Okay.
be a free for all.
Might be Q&A.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys later. Ciao for
right.
now.
Good night, guys.
Bye.
Okay, human beings. Let me start the outro music, and we'll talk about what's coming up for about 30 seconds or so. And then I'll catch a nap. I hate ending that show. But I have places to go, people to see. This was 9dNation. A Bible reading for the first 30 minutes. Commentary after that. That's what Wednesday nights are around here now. I love it. Friday, co-host Angular, Red Pill Weekly. Kind of a loose news roundup with co-host Angular. He's the star of the show. Just ask Sloan TV. And then Sunday night, multi-stream cast with Sloan TV and G Ross, The Duppy Files. You've been listening to the last 12 episodes. You've got questions. What is that, 48 hours of material? Bring your questions, because you just heard it from the man himself. It may be open questions for 3 to 4 hours. He says he's not bringing anything, but usually he sneaks something in last minute. No pressure, Duppy. No pressure. I'm going to head over to about 5 minutes of Sloan TV chat while I'm breaking down, maybe 10, and
be the moderators. You can rein things in. Yeah, no, impeach them all. You're 100% right. By the way, impeach them all. I saw your witness, saw your testimony in the chat. Right there with you, brother. Jesus is large and in charge. Let's see what Trump's announcement is tomorrow. Ooh. All right. See you guys.
Thank you for spending time with us. We're joined on Fridays by co-host Angular. This has been G. Ross, and you are the underscore. Be sure to catch us on the foxhole.app, DLive, YouTube, or Facebook. Current shows include The Bread Pill Weekly. You've been red pilled, now be the red pill. You're out of the oven and ready for delivery on our weekly alternative news roundup and call-in show on Foxhole, DLive, YouTube, and Facebook every Friday at 5:30 p.m. Central, co-hosted by G. Ross and Angular. Current shows include Epistemology for Fun and Profit, where woo meets goo. You're in the woo, and the woo is in you. A philosophical call-in show with occasional guest interviews, diving into the oldest questions. Most episodes are exclusively on the foxhole.app, Sunday at 11:30 p.m. Central. Current shows include 9dNation, the nation with no denomination. Declare to the custom agents any edible plants or miscellaneous worldviews. We take a look back at how we got here, eventually leading into a regular Wednesday night Bible study at 11 p.m. Central. Catch us on the foxhole.app, DLive, YouTube, and Facebook. Our Friday co-host is Angular. This has been G. Ross, and you are the underscore.